I am Caesar Rodney of Delaware, sheriff, soldier, and the man who rode through a thunderstorm to cast a single vote. John Adams called me the oddest-looking man in the world, but he said there is sense and fire, spirit, wit, and humor in his countenance. I'll take that kindly. On July 1st, 1776, Delaware was split. One for independence, one against. I was 80 miles away and ill, but needed. So I rode through the night, and on the morning of July 2nd, still wearing my riding spurs, I broke the tie. That day, Delaware joined the cause. This nation was not built by perfect men, but by committed ones. Be the kind of person who rides through the storm.
This is Milo. Pets are family. But every year, 10 million go missing. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now. Join the neighborhood at ring.com.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far enough. They love to hate us, thinking we've gone insane, but we could care less, they don't know our pain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. Yeah. This is who we are, we bleed red, white, and blue. We're never gonna stop Trinity. This ain't no place for sensitivity, not even worried about our credibility. When it's all in flames, don't call me to light the flare. Don't call me to light the flare. Because no one is coming to save us, Jesus Christ. Christ is king. Oops, I'm anti-Semitic too. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. If you don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're from deep state machines.
Hey, Jimmy.
Good evening, Ruby. How are you?
Doing good. I'm so glad everybody's here because it's going to be a long night, but it's going to be a fun night, but it's going to be long. Like I could already tell by what we've kind of already talked about and what has happened this week since, I mean, I'm thankful we talked about it last Tuesday, but I mean, it's heavy. It's a lot. So
Yeah.
Jimmy said, take notes. In the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot for 11:30, but we might end up being here till 12. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long we can last.
Yeah, depending on, I'll put the link now if anybody wants to join right now. Please do. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so whoever's in the chat, let's just say a quick hello to everybody. Leonard is here, Dallas, Jesse, Justin, Willie, Mrs. So Much More, Dehydrated Nurse, John Marciano, like always. Who else? Lady Rock. Do you happen to know who this is, Jimmy?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if she's on here.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. So it's the first time I see her here. So hi, Lady Rock. Welcome to
She's
the
one of my
show.
longtime Facebook friends.
Ah, okay. We got Jay in the chat, Beverly. Who else is here? Okay, perfect. We got everybody. Leonard, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you tonight, Ruby and Jimmy?
We're good.
Doing
Hope you
good.
are.
Ooh.
So, okay, so we have to do a quick would you call it an announcement? I guess I don't know. I just wanted to send love and thoughts and prayers to Bo Booth. He joins us regularly on the UPC, and I think he is going through a lot right now, or I think some medical issues. I'm not too sure what it is, but Bo, if you're watching, we love you. I'll pray for you. Get better soon, whatever it is. Can't wait to see you when you come back. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers for Bo Booth. All right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to him earlier today, and he said he had some type of accident. He didn't elaborate, but he was in the emergency room and he was heavily sedated on some drugs. So hopefully he'll be all right. He did say that next Tuesday he will be on call for his job, so he won't be able to present the information that he was working on next week, but he's shooting for the February 24th episode to be back sharing information and doing that presentation on the whole occult symbols and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. So, Bo, take all the time you need, brother, because I can't wait for you to come back and share whatever you need to share. Also, I just remembered, so if anybody else follows Quinn Wright on YouTube, we're going to talk about this later in the show, but he did a really great video about the Epstein stuff and more connections. This is bigger and deeper than what I probably thought, honestly. Is it 3 million or is it like 6 million files have already been dropped?
3 million so far, 3 more million to go.
Eesh. So we're going to be talking about this for a few weeks. Like, yeah, it gets me sick. So we're going to be talking about Epstein for a while now, but I don't want to focus on the negative. You know what I'm saying? So I told Jimmy, like, I want to talk about more of like, what do we do now? You know, like
Yeah.
how can we help people that are waking up that never knew this kind of stuff? How can we help ourselves and other people when they're looking at this stuff? So I want to talk about that. Did you guys catch the commercial that I played in the intro?
Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody has thoughts about that, I want to talk about that, definitely. So that was I guess like a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, please let me know if you saw did you guys see it? Let's just start from the beginning. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl or the halftime show? Anybody? Let me know in the chat or panel. Did you see it?
You didn't
I
watch it?
forgot about it, really.
What's that?
I forgot about it, really. I was gonna watch it, but with everything, it just slipped my mind, so I didn't watch it.
Cool. Hey, Ruby, before we go into the Super Bowl stuff, you want me to make my little correction real quick?
That's right. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. So Jimmy has an announcement, and then I'll follow up with you, Jimmy. Go ahead.
So before I do that, I want to just let you guys know, give you a recap of what we're going to do tonight. Ruby is going to discuss some Super Bowl stuff. We got some clips to play on that. Not very many. Then we're going to go into the whole Savannah Guthrie drama going on. We do have some clips for that. Ruby will be taking the lead on that as well. Then the second part of the show is where I'm going to go into talking more or less about the Epstein files, but in a different way than what the media is portraying and what you're hearing on social media. Well, thank you, Kat.
Kathy!
Appreciate that. If you watched, if you're following me on YouTube, I did put out a video earlier today called The First Breach. And we're going to play that video tonight and we're going to discuss that. And then when I got home from work, I worked on part 2 because I told everybody with the first video that there was going to be a part 2. We have that. I have that. We can talk about that as well. So that's why I put in the chat. You might want to take notes tonight because there's going to be, you might want to get your book out, Leonard, and take some notes tonight. And
okay, sorry.
and when we are playing the videos or when I'm giving my, I guess you could say monologue presentation or whatever, we're just gonna put everybody on mute so we don't get any background noise on that. So that's kind of the outline for tonight. Of course, you guys keep the chat on fire. We always enjoy that very much. All right, so let me make a correction from last week. Y'all know that I've always said that if I mess up on something, I have no problem in the world owning my mistake. So last week, before we went on the air, I was scrolling through X and I noticed a post that mentioned the number of times certain people were mentioned in the Epstein files. I saw 4,000 for Obama, 5,000 for somebody else. Then I saw 3,800 for Trump. That's what I saw. Okay. I didn't vet it. I didn't check it, which I probably should have. And that's my fault for not doing so. Y'all do know, and I have proven that I will try to fact check myself live on this show when we talk about things. Now that I have a computer in front of me and I can do that. I did that last week when I said that there were 65,000 phone calls that went unanswered on a tip line that was set up for immigrant children going to different sponsors during the Biden residency. So I have no problem doing it. So I did make a mistake. It wasn't 3,800. It was 38,000. Now, I misspoke. Yes, I did. I apologize. However, there are some people who think I'm a liar because of it. And I'm not even going to mention the person's name because I'm not going to give them that clout. But seriously, I misspoke. And now you're going to make an 8-minute video about me being a liar? Get a life.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow up real quickly with that. Is our intention is to bring the information forward, and if it is wrong, by all means, please hit that link, join the stage, and share. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point of this. So yes, we make mistakes. Yes, that's our job and our responsibility to look stuff up. But if you hear something that is completely wrong and you got the proof right in front of you, join the stage, let us know, or say it in the chat like that. Like, this is an open panel, like we welcome the information. That's what we want. We want you to correct us if something is wrong. So please do so.
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I put that out there so everybody knew. So like I said, I'm going to make mistakes. I've done over 200 some videos. Do you think I've been perfect in every one of them? No, not every one of them. But anyway, so yeah, whatever. For those that know me, know that I don't intentionally lie to folks. So yeah, we're going to have trolls. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we got one. So to that person, again, thank you for being a fan and thank you for supporting our show.
Wrong.
Yes.
Jesus Gonzealot. All right, that's all I had to say about that. So back to you, Ruby.
Okay, thank you. Jesse just joined us, and I'll also follow up with a correction of my own because a couple Tuesdays ago, I guess I'll just say I was very harsh about the ICE incidents, and I'll say this. Maybe I should have not said that she deserved it, right? That they deserved what they got, because I forgot a really important X factor is the indoctrination. I forgot about that. So it's like some people take politics to a whole nother level and they are indoctrinated to believe that what they're doing is right. And I forgot about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I could get really passionate and really into it and be like, that's what you get for being dumb, and that's insensitive. And I know that it is, but I will follow up and say they are indoctrinated. But here we are. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that people are waking up to. And hopefully we can just learn from that all we want is the truth. That's what we're here for. All we want is that's my mission. At least that's my goal. That's my goal. Yeah. That's my mission. I am here to try to find out the truth. And we don't necessarily deserve certain things to happen to us, like what this whole situation in the ice and just everything. You know what I'm saying? It is designed to get us upset and impatient and angry. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's designed to do. And sometimes we fall into that trap. And I fell into it. I definitely fell into that and got angry and was losing my head over it. When in reality is a lot of indoctrination and mind control going around. And I totally forgot about that. So, all right.
What we're gonna talk about later, Ruby, to that point is on part 2 of my presentation. Section 1 is the distraction layer. 8 traps you will encounter. So just a little tidbit on a little teaser on what we're going to talk about later.
Okay, Jesse, before we go to the chat, because I'm thankful people are answering about the halftime show. Let me know in the chat right now because I'm going to bring everybody's comments up and we're going to discuss it for at least 10 minutes because I have a lot of opinions about this halftime show. So go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead. What you got?
Well, just first of all, just what Jimmy told me about my name. My name is Jesus Gonzalez. And so me and Gilbert, we get called on your last show. If you notice all the attacks, so we get a lot of hate. And they call us zealots, regressives in the Jehovah's Witness community. Extra. Yeah. So, but we take everything they call us and we have fun with it. We take the negative energy and we build a bonfire. Like my name is Gonzalez. So they call us zealots. So we say we Gonzealot. And so that's how we have fun. To play on words. So if they're going to call us names, we might as well use it. Sticks and stones will break our bones. But listen, on a serious note, on the game, can I just tell you my 10 cents? And then I want to thank you for letting me on. But I just want to say this. I've been telling everybody that if you love sports, we had one of the greatest World Series this year since 1975. And Roger Goodell, it's not Bugs Bunny who should be at fault. We really believe, Gilbert, that the NFL commissioner is a disgrace and he should he should resign in disgrace. We feel it's not Bugs Bunny, but it's really the NFL commissioner, because this is the 250th birthday. I remember 1976 watching the All-Star game, baseball and football. And I challenge anybody, go to YouTube and watch the games. 1976 All-Star games and the World Series. You will see America celebrated everywhere in the stadium. Happy birthday. It was a unifying spirit, even after we had come out of Watergate. But everybody was trying to unify the country on the bicentennial. And Roger Goodell, being a college-educated lawyer, whatever he is, a white guy of all things, a white liberal. And why does me and Gilbert, two Mexican beaners, have to be educating this guy on civics? Think about that.
Yeah.
He took a perfectly good opportunity to unify the country, and he divided the country.
Right.
If any young football player, he's 19, 20, 25 years old, does that, brings disunity or dishonor to the game, then they're going to be fined for conduct detrimental to the game. Roger Goodell disgraced the NFL. I feel, and this is just my opinion, he should resign in disgrace. He really hurt the country, and he hurt the beloved game of football.
Wow, I totally agree.
I just wanted to share that. I'm sorry for that rant, but that I really feel really strong about.
You're fine. Leonard, do you have something to say about the game?
Yeah, Leonard, do you have any opinions about that?
Well, really, I'm not too much of a. I really don't too much watch games, really, unless it's really a favorite team of mine. But besides that, it's just I go for whoever wins. Basically, that's just my seeing it and everything. But hey, Zeus, I have a question. Do you remember Wilt Chamberlain?
Yes. In 1976, outside of Yuma, the 310 to Yuma, our railroad station, the Freedom Train was parked there. January 22nd, 1976. The Constitution was there. Everything was there. I don't remember. I was a baby. I was a little kid, and I begged my mom and dad to take me. The only thing I remember, literally, was Wilt Chamberlain's shoe. And it said, the greatest basketball player of all time. So I grew up with that image of America, the greatness of sports, the beautiful. And I really believed Wilt Chamberlain was the greatest. And when Muhammad Ali said, I am the greatest, as a little kid, I really believed it. That's the beauty of sports.
So what was your take on the halftime, Ruby?
Yeah, so I got 5 comments that I've starred about the halftime show. So I'm going to read them really quickly. Jay in the chat says, it's a business move, maybe not a good one, but American football wants to be like soccer, a worldwide sport. It probably wasn't a good move at all once, though.
Boom, he nailed it. He nailed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're definitely trying to expand it. I think next year they're supposed to have a record 9 games overseas next year. So they're trying to take it outside the United States. They've done it, for a while now, at the beginning of the season, but they're trying to take it worldwide, or at least in the Western Hemisphere.
All right. I agree. Truth Seeker says it was amazingly beautiful. And I'm going to build on that one. John Marciano says Big Bunny propaganda halftime.
Totally.
1,000%. Okay, let's see. Dallas said, I visited our neighbor and investigated part of the Superbowl Sunday, and we saw many things wrong in the halftime. So I'm interested, Dallas. If you want to elaborate, let me know in the chat. Okay.
Y'all do know who orchestrates and heads up the halftime show, right?
Jay-Z,
No.
my understanding.
No, who's that?
Ruby?
Jay-Z. So I think it has a lot to do with Rock Nation and all of that.
Yep.
And this is the Hollywood. I I do not want to say devil worshippers. I don't want to say that because I don't know that for sure. But there's definitely something wrong. Or something's going on. And that's why I think everything is rigged, everything is fake. And that's the only reason why Bad Bunny got that spot, etc. You know, like we talked about this before, but
are you guys letting Roger Goodell off the hook?
No, Roger Goodell's an ass. Just straight up. He needs to go.
Illuminati. Thank you, Justin. Because I was trying to look for it. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to say about the halftime show real quick, Ruby, is I didn't like and I know this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but do I ever say anything?
No.
So anyway, I didn't watch the halftime show, and I did not watch the TP USA halftime show either.
Oh.
I didn't watch either one of them. One, because I do not trust TP USA or Erica Kirk, that little, well, let me just say what I'm saying about her. And I didn't like it because to me, it looked like a dividing thing. I know they were trying to sell it as, oh, this is going to be America and this is what you guys are going to like. But to me, it looks like they were intentionally trying to divide folks.
Yeah. I bailed out for that same reason, Jimmy.
Yeah. So TP USA could have done nothing. And then for the folks that didn't want to watch the halftime show at the Super Bowl, they could have switched and watched something else. Or they could have just turned it off for a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't have to engage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I chose not to watch either one of them.
Okay, well, I did watch a little bit of the Turning Point one. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't have the same feeling for me.
No.
It felt like more like The Voice, you know, like a show, like a singing show. And the halftime show, okay, I did not watch it, but I saw clips. And you guys already know how I feel about Bad Bunny. I'm thankful we've talked about this before. I hate the guy. I hate him as an artist. I do not like him. I dislike him very much. And I knew it from day one. And if you listen or understand Spanish or translate the lyrics of any of his music, it's all degenerate. It's all about basically gay stuff. I mean, at first it was fine. It was like regular reggaeton, regular, stuff. But then after he started dressing up like a woman and painting his nails and kissing guys on stage, that's when I was like, I knew something was wrong. And I wiped my hands and I'm done with it, right? This is the man that they choose to be on the biggest stage in America. And that's what tells me everything I need to know. It's a giant red flag that they are promoting this stuff. And who is watching this stuff? It is the young people. And how many times have we talked about the degrading of society to normalize these things? And if you see clips of even the dancers, the way they were dancing, very inappropriate. I mean, it was just, it was bad. I'm sorry. It was bad. I didn't like it. I don't like it at all. And I would never, ever, ever promote an artist like Bad Bunny. And even if they wanted to have Spanish speaking or like Latin, like Latin singers or an artist, you know how many other people are 10 times better than Bad Bunny and could have represented America like in that way and done a great job with it, but they choose Bad Bunny? Why?
Yeah.
It's wrong for me. Go ahead.
See, my problem is now with the music industry in its entirety is that music has really went straight to hell. I can just say it like that. Music now has been straight to hell because I remember there was a certain music group that I liked it growing up, and comparing this music group to now, I would prefer that group than the music of today. And remembering the music that I liked it growing up 25 and 30 years ago and seeing that it has how it has changed now, I can just imagine during the generation of my grandparents and their siblings. You know, just it's just a different scenery of music now. And I'd rather not listen to it, today's music, because it's more like it's depressing. It has no feeling, no emotion, no meaning, no anything. It's a gimmick,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
Music today is a gimmick.
I agree 1000%. Gail, welcome to the stage. Go ahead, Gail.
Hi, good evening. I just want to let you know that Jay-Z is the one who picked Bad Bunny. And he's now calling himself Jehovah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
so. That
old.
will tell you in a nutshell what the whole thing is all about. And you know, it's funny. I don't know if you saw the commercial for the ice commercial right after the Bad Bunny halftime show. It was a great halftime. It was a great commercial, and it was really promoting the ICE agents. It was really well done. So
that's good.
Thank you. Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate that. One of the things too is, you know, a lot of people were saying before the show happened, you know, when he announced it that he was going to be doing it in December, there were so many people that were just like, you know what, why don't we have an American singer? Why don't we, you know, he's going to do it all in Spanish. No one in that stadium other than, you know, some of the folks who can speak are going to understand it. Majority of people are not going to understand it. But they did a slap in the face to us, and a lot of us didn't even catch it. Ruby, can you share the screen real quick?
Yes.
Or
okay, go ahead.
Enable my sharing.
No, yeah, we see it. Just click on whatever you want to play.
Okay,
and then it'll...
all right, here's this. Where's my volume at? Hang on. Where's the volume at? There it is.
Y'all won't feel like you didn't understand. Before she went on stage, I'm going to tell y'all the real reason why Lady Gaga was there so that y'all won't feel like you didn't understand. Before she went on stage, he said, Dime, esto es lo que tú querías, which means, tell me, is this what you wanted? And then it cut to a white woman singing in English. There, it's self-explanatory.
Oh well.
So yeah, that was kind of a slap in the face. Oh, this is what y'all want? And let's Lady Gaga sing for 1 minute and 15 seconds.
And that's another thing, because why would he pick Lady Gaga? Have you seen those photos of her with that witch and them at this party eating a replica of a corpse or something? Like, they're heavy into this stuff. And Lady Gaga?
Yeah, there's pictures of Lady Gaga with Marina Abramovich along with Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're right. It's a whole satanic Illuminati show is what it was.
Yeah.
And some were saying that he was wearing a bulletproof vest because apparently there were threats, which we don't know how credible. That's allegedly. No. There was no credible evidence of that. And they said that the grass people, they were basically set up to be a shield. So kind of to protect him from said threat. So,
please. I don't believe that. I'm sick and tired of these people acting as if they're a victim or something, or acting as if they have to like represent a certain race or culture. Why are we still doing that? It's 2026. How many, and we've said this before. I'm thankful that I've said this before, is that you come over here, you assimilate, you are American. Okay. They were waving international flags or whatever. For what? You see what I'm saying? Like, it was just useless to me. I don't like it. And Bad Bunny could go home. Go home. We do not need.
He's not going anywhere. He lives in Los Angeles. He just bought an $8 million home in Los Angeles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, look it up. 8.8 million. And also, what they should have done was translated his singing into English. They should have had a caption about
They would have had to bleep it out if they
wouldn't have been able to air it on They wouldn't have been able to air it on TV.
It was despicable. I saw it. It was despicable, his words. I went downstairs to leave. I was going to the store, and there's a community room I have to go through. There were these. I almost started a riot because I left. Went to a Super Bowl party. I got up and walked out because the game was boring. It sucked anyway, and these people there were laughing. They were drunk. They were laughing. I couldn't. So I left. I went up and I watched the Kid Rock. I didn't care too much for that either, but I did watch clips of Bad Bunny. Do you know he was booed when he first came on, but they didn't let you know that. And Lady Gaga got on her knees up to his crotch. They didn't show you that either, which was they had two guys gyrating each other up against a truck.
That's what I'm talking about. It's degenerate. And they want that at the biggest stage where millions of Americans and children once again.
The people in the stands, they showed they showed everybody in the stands. No one could see what was going on. I don't know why he had that grass, those palm trees around him. But someone told me he was doing that because of what happened in Puerto Rico. I goes, what are you talking about? What happened in Puerto Rico? Because she was from one of the women had an aide and she was from Puerto Rico. She said 187 million viewers watched. I says, no, incorrect, 137. She goes, no, 100. I says, whatever, I'm not arguing with you. Whatever. I said maybe 187 tuned in just to see what was gonna happen. But
y'all wanna go back to a time when an actual halftime show was actually good.
How many years ago?
Let me share my screen real quick, just for a second.
Okay, go ahead, play it. Yup, I knew it. How did I know you was gonna get Michael Jackson? I knew it.
Oh, they said that today.
I thought that was.
Let's just watch this for a minute and remember what it was like to have a real halftime show.
Today,
lots of symbolism in there.
We stand together all around the world, joined in a common purpose to remake the planet into a haven of joy and understanding and goodness. No one should have to suffer, especially our children. This time, we must succeed. This is for the children of the world.
All right.
I want to add to that, Jimmy. Now, I don't know if you and Gail are old enough to remember this. Not calling you both old or anything.
I'm 75. I'm 75.
I think it was 1982 or 83. It was the Super Bowl, and Marvin Gaye, he sung the national anthem at the Super Bowl. And I know that this was before, the whole musical portion of it. But he done the Super Bowl somewhere in 1982 or 83. Then Whitney Houston, she sung the national anthem in 91.
Yes.
I think she done it in 91. If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So, quickly. I'm sorry. Before I forget, I starred JG commented and he said, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I'd like to offer an opinion on language. I attend operas, and never once do I complain about singing in Italian and other languages. Let's embrace universality.
I used to did not like opera music for some reason.
I can understand what JG is saying there.
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem with that, because when I lived in Japan, I would listen to Japanese singers and they would sing so beautifully. I didn't know what they were singing.
Mhm.
I've listened to other, French music. I've listened to that before. But the thing is we know the lyrics of what Bad Bunny was saying. It's not about it being in a completely different language, by no means, in my opinion. It's about we know what the lyrics are. So that's a big difference. We the opera singer is not singing about gays and sex and many girlfriends and taking selfies and crap like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that for an adult if that's what they choose, but know your audience.
Exactly. And another point is about the, like what you just said, Jimmy, about the choice. They bought the ticket because they wanted to see that language, that type of music. This is the Super Bowl. Millions of families at home are watching this, and they don't understand what's going on, and they're ignorant to it. And what if your kids are in the living room and they see those two men, or even the women, twerking the way it's just all around us. It's wrong. That's the point. It's wrong. And they put it front and center. It's not like they bought the ticket and they allowed their kid to see Bad Bunny. No, they forced it on you. Yeah. That's the point. Yeah. And that's what I get upset about. This is why I don't own a TV. My kids do not watch that TV. I will not allow that. I control every influence in my home. That's how important it is to protect their minds, what they see, what they hear. Like, come on, it's very simple. And I hate that our entertainment system, our government and everything, they don't enforce those things. They be cursing on TV. They be showing kissing on TV all the time. You see what I'm saying? It's like, when did we lose that? I don't understand that.
We know that the sports machine is part of the deep state propaganda. We've seen it. The NFL, especially ever since my wife used to love the Denver Broncos, but she quit watching as soon as they started kneeling for the flag. A lot of people quit watching when they started kneeling for the flag. So then you had, different companies, Budweiser, sucking up to Dylan Mulvaney, and then the backlash they received from that. And then this year they come and put out their commercial, which everybody's like, oh, Budweiser. Okay, yeah, it was a great commercial, but have they seen the error of their ways? Are they just trying to get back the profit and revenue they lost for all those years when they were supporting Dylan Mulvaney? I don't see it as being a genuine effort. I see it more about money and trying to get profits back in their pocket. And they know that their core audience is the American people that drink beer. So,
and you know what?
Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead.
You took some of the words right out of my head, Jimmy, because the reasoning in general, this entertainment business is like it is now. It's all because of the money. It's all about getting profit into their money, into their pocket, and just making it just all about themselves. Because it used to be a time where if something like that was portrayed on television, it was blocked out. You couldn't see things like that. Everything was synthesized. Because I remember growing up, my mom didn't allow me to watch certain cartoons because it was promoted pedophilia and sex traffic and sex offenders, you know, and I would never go above my parent, of course. And I'm grateful for that now because look at what it is now. We have TV shows, we have movies that's portraying sexual immorality and everything else in between. And I had to stop watching a certain film director because majority of his movies are based on pedophilia and domestic abuse.
Yeah, they don't even hide it anymore. Oh, and the last point that I'll make about this Bad Bunny situation is that they're gonna disguise it as Puerto Rican culture or pride or like this is just Hispanic culture. And no, it's not. I mean, Puerto Ricans and Spanish people in general are majority conservative. We don't do that. We don't accept that. And like my grandmother would have been appalled. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm Puerto Rican, and that's how we grew up. Those things are not acceptable. And you have a artist like Bad Bunny that they turn the knob to make him more famous, because I do believe that that's rigged. They make him more famous on top of everybody else because they want the young people, especially Hispanics, to normalize this degeneracy.
Correct.
And we don't accept that as Spanish people.
No,
it is
disgusting. I don't accept it either.
Yeah, the good thing, one of the comments, Cat B945, she said, oh, where'd it go? And I lost it. I had it here. Yeah, this woke is dying, thank goodness, but they are still trying. And I agree with Cat B. The woke agenda, everybody's, so many people are sick of it. We're tired of it. We're done with it. And so, but yeah, the deep state, they're going to still try to push it, just like they did with the Super Bowl. So, yeah. So that's
So just wanted to share that. And just really quickly, the turning point, I appreciate the intention. Like I appreciate that, like the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Because that was a more family friendly, show. It would have been more appropriate than what was displayed. So I appreciate it, but I agree with Jimmy. I don't trust them at all. I don't follow them. I don't participate in none of that because of what's going on with the whole Erica Kirk stuff. And I don't even want to get into that because I have no clue about that.
No, we're not going to go on there, Erica Kirk.
That is a whole nother rabbit hole that you guys have to go on your own. Good luck. Because that's a whole thing in itself. But I appreciate that because that's what represents America. Faith, Bible, country, that's Americana. Not what you saw with Bad Bunny. And I'm ashamed that Hispanic people are taking pride over that. Because I'm Puerto Rican and that's disgusting. And he's Puerto Rican. And they think, oh, we're all Spanish. We're supposed to be so happy that he was the first Hispanic. No, I'm not happy. It's disgusting. Please. So that's it, guys. We're gonna move on to the next subject.
Can I just add one more point? I think this is a backlash now against Robert Goodell. I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of my friends, they're not going to watch the Super Bowl anymore. They're done with the Super Bowl. So I think that's going to have a backlash because it really was a slap in America's face, really. When you look at it, that's what it really was. It was a slap in America's face that they allowed that for the halftime show. There's a lot of other wonderful musicians that are American that could have come on. And we wouldn't act like that if we went to another country. And are you going to talk about the Olympics?
No, we're not talking about the Olympics tonight.
Not tonight.
Next week?
Next week.
Maybe. Yeah. So I didn't even look at
the three disrespectful Olympians that were badmouthing America that won.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You go check my timeline, Ruby, on my there's
I'm gonna have to. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that, Gail. We're gonna get more hot takes.
We'll talk about that next week. We got a lot to cover tonight.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I was going to throw it back to you to start talking about this whole Savannah Guthrie thing.
Okay, well, I'll just put it as a theory. I don't wanna go back into. I don't want to dig myself into another hole. But I think it's true. I think it's fake. I'm sorry, guys. Let me know in the chat if you have, went over the case details. What do you think about the whole kidnapping? I'm not saying that I don't care about this woman's mother or that she was or wasn't really kidnapped. I don't even want to play in that arena right now.
Before we even talk about, oh, sorry, Ruby. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was done. Go ahead.
I was going to say, before we even talk about anything with this Guthrie lady, because there's a few things I do have on this. Let's look and see what we see with our own eyes right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's notice the pattern. And I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit about patterns and everything. In the chat, have you seen any other news stories, if you're watching mainstream media, that have talked about anything else other than Savannah Guthrie and her mother?
Yes,
anything.
I've seen stuff being talked about.
Okay. So, but the majority of the coverage now.
The regular news is talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. The majority of the coverage right now, going all the way back to Wednesday of last week, it's every freaking story. Every program has this story. So what have we learned since we've been doing the UPC? That if the media starts blowing up a story and they just stay on it, then that's when you know it is a distraction or a psyop, or they are trying to MK Ultra your brains into thinking of this is the only thing going on in the world right now. I mean, did they throw a fit about 300,000 children going missing under the Biden residency?
No,
they didn't say jack crap about that. But, and I'm not being insensitive, but we have one mother missing. God forbid anything happened to her. I hope she's safe. I hope she gets back with her family. She doesn't deserve anything bad happening to her. I don't want my trolls to miss
exactly. That's why I said what I said too.
Yeah, misquote me. But it's selective outrage. Remember the song we ended with last week on the UPC or 2 weeks ago? The outrage cycle, it keeps going and going. So once you see it all over the news, and we all know that there's a lot more shit we could be talking about that
than her.
That's why we're here. So
can I just say something that I just want to say something that my thoughts roll like you wouldn't believe. I'm always scheming. Well, anyway, Gates was being interviewed by the daughter. I just found I this is how my mind. She was asking him some very personal questions about venereal disease, and she, without accusing him indirectly, she accused him of lying about being an Epstein's because he kept denying it because he had dinner with them once, but there's documentation to prove that he was there. Well, anyway, she's interviewing him and asking him questions about the venereal disease he supposedly contracted, and the next thing you know, the mother's gone. I'm just making a connection. I'm probably totally off. But I'm just making.
Oh wait, is she the one that did that interview?
Yes, her daughter.
Really?
Yes, that's where my mind's going.
Whoa. Okay, so now you're on to something there, in my opinion. Because go do a search real quick if you can. Find out when the date of that interview was.
It was last week.
Yeah, I need to know for sure what the date was. When they did the interview. And between that interview and the time the mother went missing, what was the time frame on that? 1 day?
That I don't know. You want me to find out?
That would be interesting to find out.
Okay. Yeah. And also, remember Virginia Dubray's mother got kidnapped as well, right after this new Epstein files came out.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
I did not know that. You see, wow, this is crazy because I spoke to Jimmy earlier today, and I told him I was like, this is either it's fake, it's all a hoax. The mother's perfectly fine, and they're just playing a part to distract the masses because of all this Epstein stuff, or she really did get kidnapped because somebody is not playing ball anymore, and this is the retaliation or punishment because of who Savannah is. So when celebrities or big people get in the news like this with a suicide or kidnapping or whatever, that's what raises my thing. Like, why are we paying so much attention to this just because she's the host of the show or something like how many other millions of people are missing or kidnapped and we're focusing on just one woman, one family. So
let me share something with us, Ruby. Let me go over to my TikTok again.
And Joseph joined the stage. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Hello.
Hi there, Joseph.
It's fine, Dallas. How are you doing?
Well, great to have you on with us here.
Okay, your screen is sharing now. Jimmy,
yeah,
go ahead.
let me share this real quick, and then we'll go to Joseph and Dallas for their take on this. But check out what this old lady was saying. It's really interesting.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I'll tell you what, I went down a rabbit hole this morning. I had an extra hour before I had to get up and get ready for work. I went down the rabbit hole of Savannah Guthrie. Now, we've all heard about her mother being kidnapped out in Arizona, but I dug a little farther. Her husband, his last name is Feldman. He worked for the Clintons the 8 years they were in office. Okay. He started a company called Grover Park. Basically, what they were scrubbers. They would scrub the internet of anything bad that they did not want the public to find out. They would scrape the whole internet. So when you did a search, you couldn't find out anything about it. How much you want to bet? Because the Clintons are going in front of Congress that they struck out to this guy because he was their cleaner. We've all heard about the 50-some-odd people that have had questionable deaths behind the Clintons. We've all heard about them. Not one person in this country has not heard about them. So how much you want to bet they want to keep this guy silent to get his mother-in-law back? So tonight I'll end up having to do some more research, but right now I don't have time. But if you have time today, please go down that rabbit hole because you are going to find out so much information. It's going to go boom in your head. You go, oh, hell, she might be on to something.
Wow.
But mark my words, this has something to do with the Clintons. I'll see you folks on the flip side. And happy hunting.
Yo.
I like her.
Yeah, I do too. She has a real good
point. So yeah, there's some connections there, and let's go ahead and acknowledge Joseph and Dallas, and then I got one more clip on this subject I can share with you guys. Dallas, what you guys say tonight for tonight's show?
Well, I saw that halftime show, and one of the things that looked like it was 3 posts where it looked like the crucifix is right there. It looked like as if Jesus Christ was on one and then the others next to him. You see that in there? I saw that in the halftime show.
No.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was climbing up.
He was making a big mockery of our Savior right there, right?
From what I saw, that's what it did look like. He was climbing up what looked like to be a cross. And real quick, 587, we'll get to the Epstein sighting stuff here in a little bit. So we'll talk about that.
Also that with that one of the last flags I saw was an American flag. I was investigating it myself. I was watching just for investigation purposes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you know how Jimmy said there's a lot of even signs and symbols, even with the Michael Jackson thing. I want to ask you about that later. I'm gonna let you do your thing, but like that's what I even think about. Literally every suspicious death, even Epstein himself, which I agree with 587 that there was a spotting of him allegedly in Israel. I don't know if you saw that photo, but I think that's what's going on. The exposure is behind the scenes, and they want to keep us all distracted with this bullcrap on TV, sports, and this kidnapping. Because it's like a freaking movie. Everybody's entertained right now.
That's what I've been. Joseph, what you guys say? What you guys
I
say?
agree with you.
Well, I agree with Ruby. This is all a distraction in order to take our minds off what's really happening in the world. So we won't, do any research. We're all concentrated on this Guthrie, abduction, whether she is alive or dead. We're talking about now deadlines of, giving the ransoms. There's a second deadline. It just keeps going on and on. And you could talk even in social media. There's 24-hour shows of just looking at this house.
Yeah,
that's all. It's nothing but distraction, and I think there's a lot of deep holes that we should go down and do some research. Especially Epstein,
right on.
The Epstein files that have a lot of suggestions that he involved with satanic ritual.
Right on.
And not only that, he was selling hundreds of pounds of so-called jerky.
Oh, that's human body.
Yeah.
Let's medical advices about adrenochrome.
Oh.
So it makes you wonder what's really happening.
Yeah, we're gonna
what about those tunnels that he has on the island, and also the tunnels in that new Mexico ranch of his?
Oh yeah, that thing goes like 6 floors deep.
You know, the FBI to this very day has not been able to do any investigation on that ranch.
exactly.
I think that's deplorable.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that. Let's stay with the Guthrie thing here for a second. I want to piggyback on what Joseph said about going down the rabbit holes, going down the different rabbit holes and checking it. We saw the old lady go down the rabbit hole about, the Clintons and the involvement of Feldman with the Clintons. And I did the fact check on that. Yes, he did work for the Clintons. But y'all know me. I have told y'all about the letter 7 or the number 17 for quite some time, ever since we started. So let me share something with you guys, just for informational purposes only. Let's look right here. Let me see if my screen's up. Can't see it yet. Okay. All right. So right here, we have a Q post showing the mainstream media and different names there. You can recognize some of them. Rachel Maddow, Joe Scarborough. Then you have, Savannah Guthrie. She's mentioned in the Q files. So that was one thing there. Then we have this. It just says these reporters and networks have been named in the WikiLeaks to have colluded with the DNC or the Hillary campaign during the 2016 election cycle. So you have Miss Savannah Guthrie as being one of those individuals that colluded with the DNC and the Hillary campaign. And her husband works for Bill and Hillary. Okay. That's a very interesting connection, I would say.
Yep.
Then, if you guys remember this interview where she interviewed Trump. This was one of the nastiest interviews I think I ever saw from somebody. Let me play this for you guys to refresh your memory.
Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring, and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true,
So,
and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
If
a
you'd like
satanic
me to
cult run by the deep
study the
state.
subject, I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by
Republican
Republicans.
Senator Ben Sasse said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy theories.
He may be
Why not
right.
just say it's
Can I be
crazy
honest?
and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me
tell
ask you
all
another
about it.
thing.
Let's waste the whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more in this vein.
Let me just tell you what I do hear about it is they are very strongly against pedophilia. And I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that. And I agree
But
with it.
there's not
very
a
strongly.
satanic pedophile
have
cult
no
being run
idea.
by.
I know
You
nothing
don't know
about
that? Okay.
No, I don't know
You
that.
just
And
this
neither
week.
do you know that.
Okay, just this.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah. So interesting, huh?
yes, it is.
And and notice when she was saying, yeah, that's just, this satanic pedophile. That's just a conspiracy. What the have we just found
Right,
out?
exactly.
Or what is the public just found out here in the? So I think everybody, not everybody. Let me take that back. I think the trolls that are hating on the people that have been following Q owe us a damn apology, because we mentioned this stuff, we were laughed at, and they knew about the media knew about this stuff, and they were trying to do one of them gotcha moments with Trump on that interview, and he didn't take the bait.
Good.
So that's
Leonard,
who this lady is.
did you have something to add, Leonard?
No, I was just going to say that I'm gonna leave out, and I've enjoyed talking with you all, and I was thinking about doing some homework myself about some things, and I just want to also say Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
You too.
Thanks,
You
Leonard.
too, Leonard. Happy Valentine's.
Thank you. And maybe one day we'll be able to talk about the topics that I've researched.
The Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't forgot about that. We haven't forgot about that, Leonard.
You and Bo are on the list. Both of you
Yes.
guys are on the list. So keep writing, keep digging. And before you do any other research about anything else, I would recommend you to pray. There's a lot of evil out there, and these rabbit holes are dangerous. I wouldn't I know Jimmy said last time that I've been hesitating to really talk about this like the way we are, but I'm glad we are doing it. We're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So if you do it on your own, do a prayer, because there's a lot of evil stuff out there being uncovered, and the public is finally realizing what Jimmy has been sharing with us for a really long time. So thank you so much for joining, Leonard.
Thank you, Leonard.
Well, thank you for being with us, dropping by, Leonard. Thank you
All
for
right.
being with us.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Leonard.
Nah,
Bo is
Bye,
in the
buddy.
chat though. Hi, Bo. Hope you get better.
Where
All
is
right,
he?
any last comments on Guthrie?
No.
No.
Nope. I
Please don't
believe
turn.
100% that she was involved in something and they took her mother for it. And this is punishment. It might be a humiliation thing in public for her to be begging like this to the public and her to be vulnerable and her to be on her knees right now about her mother. But I think she was involved in something, or her husband. Now that you mentioned about her husband, something is going on.
Yes.
Yeah, this definitely, in my opinion, is a way for the deep state to, or at least the players that are left on the board right now, to try to send a message to the media saying, hey, if you're going to cover this stuff, bad things are going to happen to you guys. I think this is the message they're trying to send.
Yeah.
But like with any other story that has come out, what do we find out a week or two later after the mainstream media quits talking about it? We start hearing the truth about those stories. Kind of like with what, and I'm just going to switch gears here for just a second. Jane Spitfire saying POTUS 47 talks about white supremacy after the photos he made with Obama monkey faces. Right there. Okay, Jane, I understand what you're saying. But he made with, so you're telling, according to that comment, if I'm reading correctly, are you saying that Trump made that meme or made that video? That would be inaccurate, with all due respect. Basically, what they were showing on the White House social media was a clip about election fraud. And then if you're ever scrolling through Twitter, TikTok, especially TikTok, once a video is done, it auto scrolls to the next video. And that's what happened on this, is they were playing that election clip and then it automatically scrolled, and then whoever was running it, probably a staffer or whatever, saw that and was like, oh crap, let me stop this. So if you go back and look at that whole clip, it was a satire, a parody of the Lion King. And the only thing you did see was the Obamas being portrayed as monkeys, but you didn't see Governor Pritzker, portrayed as an elephant. You didn't see Oprah Winfrey. You didn't see what's his freaking little name, Hakeem Jeffries. There was a bunch of other. Showed Joe Biden as a ape or an orangutan or something like that. So that video had nothing to do with Trump. Trump didn't create it. Trump didn't make it. Unfortunately, yeah, it shows up on his Truth Social, which sucks, but doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it or anything like that. So again, this is just another one of those things that the left is trying to grab onto, or say the deep state, to take any type of views away from what's actually really going on. It's another distraction.
Exactly.
If they have a problem with that, hold on, sorry, Ruby. If they're going to have a problem with that, what about Obama when he said, when he's talking to a black crowd during one of his little campaign stops, hey, they're going to put you all back in chains. Did you say anything about that? So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna even waste my time on that. It's irrelevant, and honestly, who cares? I mean, that's what the internet has always done. First of all, like, don't act surprised that something like this has been made. I don't think Trump made that. He's too busy being the president. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like, Trump has better things to do. But honestly, who cares? This is just to rage bait. This is just to get people to get angry for no reason once again. So please miss me with that. I don't care.
Have you ever looked at old political cartoons from like the 1800s?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah. Those cartoons would not fly in today's society. Oh my goodness.
That's freedom of speech for you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
We talked about this before. It's like, stop acting surprised, stop acting angry. Who cares? Nobody cares. Next, let's go back to the real stuff.
Yeah. So, all right, are we ready to go to the meat of the episode tonight?
Yeah, and I do have a clip that I want to share with you, and you've probably seen this, Jimmy, since you're on X, because this is how we should all be right now. Okay, we should all be unplugging from the matrix. If you guys have seen our UPC intro, yeah, and you see, this guy is my spirit. This is my spirit. Like, I would never do this in public, but this is what I really want to do. This is what we should be doing.
Because the ethnic files have been released. All of y'all are acting fucking normal. Ethnic files have been released. And all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. The ethnic files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal.
Okay, guys. Did you get the juice of it? Did you get did you feel that in your soul? Okay. That's how I feel. When I talk to Jimmy, this is how I feel like me and Jimmy, I'll speak for you. Sorry. This is how I feel like you and I are on the inside. On the inside, this is something that I would love to do, but I would never do that. That's why I do it here.
Well,
but this is how I feel about people in the matrix. Go ahead, Joseph.
Don't do that out in public because the white coats are going to come and pick you up.
Exactly. Exactly. But this is how I feel. We should not be acting as if everything is okay. Like, right? Like,
I agree.
Well, there's a scripture that says you must be innocent as doves,
Yeah.
But, cautious as a serpent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah. Okay, Jimmy. So.
This is the right platform for you to express your views.
Right.
This is the platform for you to unleash whatever you want.
Right. Not in an airport. I get that. But when it comes to like how Jimmy says the children will unite us, that's kind of like how I feel. Is that once you understand what these code words mean and you go down those rabbit holes, everybody gonna be like that guy. And now I know what Jimmy was talking about when he said they can't release everything. Like it will be chaos, and it would, because
we talk about that.
Yeah, we would decode it, and we would be like that guy. But I love it. I love it. Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
He's like he's been unplugged, and he sees the Matrix world, and he wants to wake everybody up.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to do. Ruby, do you have our clip for our intermission that we play? Do you have that? No.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, yes. I do.
Play it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, ready. Okay, guys, you can unmute yourselves. We're back. Welcome back.
Can I introduce?
Oh, Jimmy, you're muted. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Got you. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Gigi.
Can I introduce the first whistleblower against Epstein
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
and what happened to her? Her name is Karen Mulder. Have you heard of her?
I have not.
She was a gorgeous supermodel. They actually made 3 Barbie dolls in honor of her. She was a supermodel for Victoria's Secret and Guess and Ralph Lauren. Well, she was used and abused. She said she got drugged and they did unthinkable things to her. What happened in the night? She went on TV in Denmark and blew the whistle on Epstein and what was going on with children. Well, after her interview, I don't know if it was right after, she gets arrested and thrown in a psych ward. They ruined her career. They abused her. They drugged her up and told everybody she was mentally insane. This woman, you've got to see this girl, how gorgeous she was. And she was on every cover. She's one of the top Victoria's Secret models. And you all know that the owner from Victoria's Secret helped finance Epstein at the beginning of his reign of terror. Well, anyway.
Lex Westner.
What's his name?
Lex Westner.
Yes. And anyway, after she got out of the hospital, they made her come back on TV and she had to retract everything she said. And I don't know what's happened to her since. She was a model for the 80s and 90s. But she was talking about some despicable things that they did to her and other models. Now, another model was on 60 Minutes, bad-mouthing Victoria's Secret and saying what they did to all the models and that they made them go with all these billionaires and they did the horrible things to them. They drugged them and they sexually abused them all. And so she quit because they told her she was too fat. She became an anorexic because they made her get real skinny. Yeah, she's on 60 Minutes, and I forgot the girl's name, but there's more Victoria's Secret models coming out to talk about the abuse that they were subjected to. And they were all linked to Jeffrey Epstein and the guy who owns Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, there were several brands that were mentioned in the Epstein files. Chuck E. Cheese was mentioned.
Oh.
Yeah. Life Touch. Yeah, Life Touch, the company that took all of your 1980s, 1990s school pictures throughout the United States.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope, Life Touch was listed in there. Hey, what a better way to catalog all the kids in the United States.
Oh my!
Take all their pictures. I'm just saying they were mentioned. Now, let me preface this because just because certain folks were mentioned doesn't mean they were involved with the criminal activity. Okay, that's a true statement.
I agree with that.
So, but it does warrant going down the rabbit holes and checking out and verifying. Okay, well, what was Chuck E. Cheese doing? What was Life Touch doing? What was Victoria's Secret, Pink, and oh my God, what was the other one? Oh Lord, I just had a brain freeze. There was another company that was involved with the Epstein stuff. So, but here's what I wanted to talk about this evening, guys, because, you know, in 2020, after I watched Out of Shadows and realized what was going on with a lot of the satanic stuff and this child trafficking and everything, I started paying attention to, you know, like I said, the Q files, the Q drops, and they did mention in the Q drops Epstein stuff over 39 to 60 times. I found 39. Some say they found 68. But anyway, so I kind of already knew about this Epstein stuff. And that's why when this stuff hit the fan last week and a half, there were so many people out there that had no earthly clue about this stuff. And so me and Ruby talked about this earlier. She said, you know, she was like, tell me exactly how you were feeling, Ruby, with this. I don't want to misrepresent you. How are you feeling about this in your world's view, your mind view, when you start first hearing about all this?
About the Epstein stuff?
Yeah.
The exposure?
Yeah. What did it do to you on a mentally daily basis thing?
Oh, yeah. It messed me up. For 4 days, I was staring at the wall. Because I finally, it kind of sunk that this is not in this playing field anymore. This is like in another realm. because it's like, how can this be allowed for so long and be hidden for so long? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many? I mean, didn't Trump even say himself in one of those? I think it was like reported that he told one of the cops in Florida or something like, "Oh, thank God you're investigating him because we all kind of knew what he was into." Hello, like they know this is going on and they don't do anything. So that's kind of like my thing, and that's what messes me up, because I'm like, well, if they're not gonna do anything and they are in positions of power, what are we gonna do? And we have no power.
Right. Yeah. The point that I wanted to make on that was how you were feeling about finding out the information. So in 2020, when I was finding out about all this stuff, man, I spent many hours sitting in my cage, like, what the is going on? You know, I had those moments where I was staring at a wall for 4 days. I mean, and if you look on TikTok and X right now, people are saying, you mean I'm supposed to go to work tomorrow after finding out all this information? I just got to go pay taxes to the people that have been doing this stuff. So because of that, because of the way people are feeling right now in that sense, I wanted to put together something that folks could think about on a bigger picture on how to look at this stuff right now. Because if this stuff right here blew your mind, buckle up, because it's going to get worse. I'm telling you right now, y'all can mark it down. So I started watching a program last night, and some of the stuff that was introduced in there, I was like, you know what? This is some good information, and I need to do a video on this. So this morning I put together a little speech, a little video. That's about 17 minutes. But what I called it is the first breach. And so we want to play this, and depending on the response from the audience, I have the part 2 already ready to go, which I'm willing to share that with you. Now, when Ruby plays the video, if everybody on the panel can just put themselves on mute so we can, not have any background noise on this. But I wanted to share this with you guys tonight. You may have already seen it if you watch my YouTube channel. But Ruby, do you have that video ready to go? My video from today?
May I make a comment that might help everybody before you start?
Sure,
May I make a comment where I worked with CSA victims firsthand? I was born in 1950 and I grew up in the 60s. And I'll tell you what I found out about people, especially working with adults that were sexually abused by their parents. People don't want to believe it. And I have firsthand experience with that, especially a lot of my friends were Catholics that I grew up with in the neighborhood. And we found out the priests were the ones that were molesting children. They'd have them over for dinner and then they'd be upstairs molesting their children. Now, my own cousin was abused, and my aunt and uncle would not believe him. They said he was crazy. The guy's a nice guy. He would never do something like that. Well, the denial factor was huge back then. Yep. People did not want to believe it. My mother didn't believe me when I told her about my own brother was being abused by the guy next door. She goes, I was crazy. I says, no, Ma, it's true. You've got to open up your eyes. It's very difficult for people to believe that people are this friggin' evil. This is the worst demonic evil we are experiencing in this world. And people don't want to believe it exists. And you have to believe it exists so you can be less fearful, you can be aware, and you can keep your mind and eyes open against this. Because we have to fight this. It's a spirit of evilness that we all have to fight and not let it control our minds and our hearts. I just wanted to throw that in before you.
Yeah, appreciate that. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Thank you.
The thing you said about the denial, listen to I mentioned that in this video. So
okay. So
let's just go ahead and play the video and let's discuss it in the chat. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You know, there's been a lot of information that's come out over the past 2 weeks, and there's so many people out there that are learning things for the first time. They are shocked at some of the information that they are seeing. They really don't know what to do with this information. We have battle lines being drawn, you know, who's right, who's wrong, who's the worst offender, so many different things. And the waters are being muddied right now with all this information coming out, especially about the Epstein client list or the Epstein files. And so I wanted to kind of calm the noise, so to speak, and share some information with you guys that I've put together about this and what this really means. And this information that I'm going to give you guys today is kind of part one. I've actually titled this thing called The First Breach, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And hopefully after the video uploads, we can play it on the Unrelenting Political Corner this evening for our audience there. But I wanted to go ahead and get this on video so that I have it done and it's ready to go for our show. And for those that don't watch the UPC, they can just watch this video and get the information. So there's 4 different sections on this that I want to cover. Section 1 is why now. Section 2 is what this release truly is. And section 3, the scrambling response. And section 4 is how to stand above the noise. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into this information. Just put this together last night and this morning, and I just want to get it out to you guys, give you a different perspective of things to look at. So here we go. Section 1, opening and why now. Something that has been buried for a very long time has begun to surface. You can feel it, even if you cannot yet put it into simple language. Something is shifting. A threshold has been crossed. And what we are witnessing right now, the release of what has come to be called the Epstein client list, is not a small thing, even if it's being presented as though it were. So the first question I want to address this morning is the one I suspect is already forming in your mind. Why now? Why this moment? Why not earlier? And why not later? The answer is not that those who have managed the shadows have suddenly grown a conscience. The answer is that the alternative, complete uncontrolled collapse, is something that they can no longer afford. There are cycles in the cosmos. There are cycles in human civilization. And there are cycles in the hidden architectures of control. When those cycles turn, it does not always arrive like a thunderclap. Sometimes it begins with paperwork, with policies, with unexpected documents, with files that appear and then disappear and appear again, with redactions that provoke more questions than they can silence. This is what you are witnessing, a control structure that has reached the point where something must be released, not because those who hold the levers have chosen transparency, but because the pressure of reality itself has reached a level they can no longer contain. They have chosen a controlled breach rather than an uncontrolled collapse. And here's what I want you to understand from the very beginning of this conversation. Learn this pattern, memorize it, because it will repeat as larger disclosures arrive. This is how a system built on secrecy loses, not all at once, but in fragments. So what this release truly is, well, what is it? What are we looking at? And what are we not looking at? The first thing I want you to recognize is that this is not a clean narrative. It was never designed to be. It arrived as a mass, a deluge, a flood of items that demands a level of discernment most people have not been trained to exercise. And that is by design. When those who still have influence over the release process prefer a flood to a single clear document, it is because volume serves them better than clarity. Clarity creates unity. Unity creates action. Volume creates argument, fatigue, and distraction. And they're counting on the sheer exhaustion of synthesis to make you give up before you arrive at the center. So what is the center? What is the thing that most want you to miss? Well, that's the leverage economy. The true value of an archive like this was never the sensationalism. It was the ability to compromise, to silence, to steer, to recruit, to entrap. It was the ability to control what someone fears being exposed, and through that fear, control what they will sign, what they will fund, and they will defend publicly, and what they will pretend not to see. This is why I urge you, do not let the story shrink into one man, one island, one scandal. The scandal is the doorway. The doorway leads to something much larger, something much darker. Now, the release is also designed to make you think certain things that are not true. Let me name 3 of them. Trap number 1. Disclosure is a moment, not a process. They want you to think of this as a single event, a one-time drop, a climax, after which everything either changes dramatically or returns to normal. Because you believe disclosure is a moment, you can be pacified by a partial release. When you understand it is a process, partial releases only open your appetite for what comes next. And I can assure you, there is stuff that is coming next. Trap 2, if the proof isn't perfect, nothing is real. You will see incomplete evidence. You will see redactions. You will see items that can be argued over. That is part of the strategy. Despair is the cousin of surrender. Do not let the imperfection of the release convince you that the underlying architecture doesn't exist. Trap 3. The most famous name is the most important thing. If your attention is hypnotized by celebrity, by the biggest name you can find, then the deeper systems that enable the entire network remain intact. A system that remains intact can simply rebuild new faces and place them on old machinery. What you are receiving is a structure of disclosure, and the structure itself is part of the message. Read the patterns, not the spectacle. Notice the patterns. So now let us talk about what's happening behind the curtain, because right now, as we speak, there is a scrambling. What is this scrambling response? You can feel it in the collective conversation, the sudden sharpness, the way certain narratives accelerate and then abruptly pivot, as though unseen hands are constantly trying to steer a river that no longer obeys its old banks. This is not your imagination. This is signature. It is a signature of a hierarchy losing its ability to manage outcomes and therefore becoming obsessed with managing optics. Let me walk you through exactly what the scrambling looks like, because once you can name these behaviors, you will see them everywhere, and they will no longer have the power to confuse you. Behavior 1, converting exposure into bureaucracy. The first thing a threatened, controlled structure does is slow everything down. They hide behind procedures, behind ongoing reviews, behind necessary redactions, behind we must protect privacy. Some of these statements are partially true, which is precisely why they are effective. A half-truth is the most powerful shield a deeper concealment can have. Behavior 2, the quiet sorting of liabilities. This is where you will begin to see plea deals, immunity language, sealed arguments. Sealed agreements, strategic resignations, retirements announced for personal reasons. In a collapsing structure, deals are not made because the structure is confident. Deals are made because the structure is frightened. And when one begins to bargain, another rushes to bargain first. Because in a collapsing hierarchy, information becomes the last currency of survival. Behavior 3, the rapid movement of assets. While you are watching headlines, names, and clips, the inner world is watching transfers, shells within shells, foundations, charities, intermediaries. A collapsing control structure tries to make itself intangible. Watch for sudden rebranding, sudden corporate dissolutions, sudden philanthropic announcements designed to cleanse reputation and provide moral cover. That is not virtue. That is asset protection disguised as benevolence. Behavior 4, the flood of decoys. The simplest way to fracture a truth movement is to flood it with competing truths until the public cannot tell what is real and what is theater. Sensational claims released at strategic moments, fabricated artifacts presented as definite proof, leaks designed to discredit other leaks, same story told in 10 contradictory versions until exhaustion sets in. They are attempting to train your population into apathy by making the search for truth feel impossible. Ain't that the damn truth? Behavior 5, polarization. They will attempt to collapse your attention into one symbol, one face, one convenient villain, and then position that symbol along tribal lines so that the public spends the energy fighting over which political tribe the darkness belongs to. Because if you're fighting about that, the darkness remains free to operate as a multi-tribal system that uses all tribes when convenient. That is the scrambling. And yes, they are failing to restore the old normal. They can slow it down, but they cannot reverse it. They can distract, but they cannot unopen a door that has already been open. They can bargain for time, but time is no longer their ally. Because each wave of exposure trains more eyes to see patterns. And once pattern recognition spreads through a population, the architecture of secrecy becomes fragile. So, what do we do with all this? I want to leave you with a frame, not a list of instructions, but a way of seeing that will serve you through every disclosure that follows this one, because there will be more. The success of disclosure wave is not measured only by prosecutions or headlines in the first week. It is measured by whether the population has become capable of asking better questions in the next week. Better questions pierce further than outrage. Better questions lead to adjacent archives. Better questions lead to unsealing motions, internal reviews, quiet movements of assets and loyalties. Better questions force those who have relied on silence to begin speaking in ways they cannot fully control. So your task, each of you, is to be the loudest voice in the room. Let me fix that. Is not to be the loudest voice in the room. My apologies. Is to be a pattern leader, not a sensational seeker, not a lane driver. Because understand this, those who remain invested in control study your population the way a meteorologist studies weather patterns. They release information when they believe it will split your attention into manageable lanes. The lane of outrage, the lane of denial, the lane of partisan conflict, the lane of spectacle, the lane of nothing will ever change. They want you to pick one of those lanes and stay in it. You are here to stand above the lanes and see the whole map. Or as I have said before, put together that puzzle and start filling that puzzle in, and eventually you'll see the big picture. This map says the first breach is not the end. It is the permission slip for further breaches. Once one archive becomes discussable, other archives become imaginable. And once they are imaginable, pressure gathers. And pressure creates openings. This is what an opening looks like when it occurs inside a system that still has hands on the levers. It looks messy. It looks contradictory. It looks like a flood that someone does not satisfy the hunger for a clean clean conclusion. It looks like truth being permitted in fragments, while distortion tries to ride on its back. This is exactly what we should expect, and exactly why we must not mistake a noisy beginning for a failed process. We are at the beginning of a disclosure cascade that will move from visible scandal into the less visible corridors, money routes, leverage operations, influence infrastructure, and the hidden agreements that shape the modern era. The first wave is what can be released without triggering immediate systematic panic. The later waves will reveal what was being protected by the secrecy in the first place. So, hold your discernment, develop your pattern recognition, do not collapse under the weight of volume, do not be pacified by a partial release, do not be hypnotized by the most dramatic name in the story. Ask better questions, teach others to ask better questions, and trust that once a civilization sustains attention on hidden structures, those structures begin to destabilize. The door's been open. What follows will be larger. So I hope you guys took some good points from that. That is the first part of what I wanted to do. Once I put the second part together, I'll share it with you guys as well. So keep your heads up, use that discernment. Don't get sucked into the narratives that you see on the mainstream and that you see on social media. Because like it's been said before, nothing can stop what's coming.
I loved it. How do you guys feel? Anybody want to chime in before I do? Oh, you guys are muted. Oh, just unmute yourself, guys. Everybody's muted. If anybody wants to chime in, definitely unmute yourself and jump right in.
That, Jeremy, that was a real good analogy. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. Gail, you have thoughts?
Yeah, I actually wrote a nice thing about you, and I don't know where I put it.
You don't need a Google.
I wrote a whole bunch of notes about you. I was going to send it to you. Oh dear. Now I feel like a jerk. All right. Let me see if I can find it. I just wanted to thank you because part of what I was going to tell you is that you're doing a lot of research, and a lot of it is it's beneficial to I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for myself. And sometimes I say, gee, this doesn't sound right. But then you'll always find out it's true. So I just want to appreciate what you bring to the stage for the rest of us. And it makes us think. I like to think. And you got my thinking cap going since I've been watching your show. And you've got me looking up stuff. And what I'm learning is what is true and is not true. And it's hard sometimes to define with this AI crap. But I think your show brings a lot of good things for us to open up our eyes. And it's also getting really scary for what preppers are saying about a civil war. And did you notice how quiet it's been about the protesting in Minnesota? I find that odd too. Well, anyway, I just want to thank you for your homework, your research, and thank you for the love you have for this group. That's what it boils down to. That you love this group, you love mankind, and you don't want to see America go down the tubes. I don't want to see that either. And I thank you for it. I
appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for
that. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Dallas. You know, when I started this process, I took an oath I literally went on camera and took an oath to do what I do. Because when you leave a cult, like most of us did with the Watchtower, your whole world is flipped upside down once you start finding the truth.
Yes, I agree.
And as hard as we worked to expose the Watchtower, when I started going down the political path and I started noticing patterns, then that's when I was like, wait a second. You know, Watchtower's involved way in this stuff. They are deep state propaganda, or the propaganda arm of the state.
Yeah.
And so once I started digging more and the Epstein stuff came up and the jab stuff and CV and all that, I was like, man, these folks have really got to learn how to do some research and find out the truth about this stuff and not just blindly follow the media. And it really, and this is no slam to anybody that's not awake yet, because like Ruby said about that one individual, that they were indoctrinated. And that has been what's happened to not just people here in the United States, but across the world. Everyone's been indoctrinated to believe what the deep state's put out there for so long. And I know somebody in the comments says something about, this has been going on for centuries. And we're not going to be able, it takes a while to bring down a 6,000-year-old death cult. Okay.
Yeah.
So, people have got to be aware of this. And that's why, the guy in the airport, that may not have been the most appropriate thing for him to do, but he felt like he needed to do that. That was what and because he's like, look, y'all are just walking around, acting normal, like nothing's happening, and you're not paying attention. And folks don't realize that is the power that the deep state thrives on. They thrive on your ignorance. They thrive on when you pick a fight with somebody that doesn't agree with everything you agree on, or you have, a different viewpoint on something. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
So like when someone makes a video about me, calling me a liar, the deep state loves that. Oh, that's great. This is good vision. And if you really think about it, most everybody has the same goals, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, Buddhist, Muslim, whatever. Most good people want to be able to put a roof over their head. They want to put food in their bellies. They want to take care of their families. They want to have a job that they're proud of that's paying their bills. Half of us don't want to work anymore because we don't want to be part of the matrix, but that's another story. So we agree on the core principles of life. And if folks can unite and focus on that, then all this other stuff is noise and distraction. We need to know about it so we can fight it. That's for sure.
Right.
So when you're reading the Epstein files, don't get sucked into the narrative. Don't get sucked into I'm just going to focus on one person. Because if you're the type of individual, if you're the type of individual that's only going to focus on one person, and then you're going to miss out on designer babies. Jeffrey Epstein's youngest victim was still tied to an umbilical cord. People chopping feet off kids, eating the babies, eating kids, draining their blood. This 2020, I was called crazy for saying all of this. But what are we learning?
It's true. It's true.
So all I'm saying is, if you're focused on I'm just saying, if you're focused on Trump and you're not talking about everything else, then what are you doing? You really don't want to learn the truth. You want to stay stuck in that mindset. You want to be stuck in that lane. Like I said, that there were different lanes you can be in, like, denial, the lane of denial. All the people that back in the day were stuck in that lane of denial. Don't get stuck in those lanes. Rise above it.
Absolutely. And you got in the detail and so much of the deep state, and we know that we know that one of the deep state is the witch tower, which that's one of them, and they've been in. I think they're part of so much of that.
They are.
The Witch Tower is.
And oh, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I was going. Thank you, Dallas, for that. You're absolutely right. Ruby, you haven't
Yeah.
said much on this. Go ahead.
Well, I agree. No, I think I already told you on the phone. So, because I actually forgot what I told you. So I guess it's gonna have to stay with Jimmy. But basically, I agree with everybody on the panel tonight, and just I kind of took it like a friendly reminder of not to freak out, because that's kind of what is the human nature, is to freak out. That all of these code words, what they really meant is what they really mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what gets people messed up. So it's like, don't freak out, but at the same time, understand that it is happening. We don't in our brain, we don't want it to be real. We don't want that.
Right.
So your brain is going to automatically deny it for you, because we're civilized. We're law-abiding citizens. You know what I'm saying? We can't comprehend the mind of a pedophile or what these people are doing. So to us, it feels like, oh, stop playing around. That's a joke, or that's a conspiracy theory. And it's easy to do that because we know we wouldn't do that. We're normal, but we're not dealing with normal. So we have to take that element and remember that. And then, now I remember what I told you, Jimmy, that it makes me feel as if this is out of our scope, because who is going to be the ones to take that down? We can't do it. Local law enforcement seems to be struggling. The FBI seems to be struggling. So who else is going to be the one to storm these people down and arrest them and get them? And what has Jimmy been saying since day one?
That's the power of the presidency.
Nah, it's beyond the presidency. It's the military.
Right. That's right. Exactly. But it's true, because it's under Trump, is under the president, basically. So if we have the president that we have, it's like, thank God we have Trump right now and not anybody else who is in it as well or has blackmail on them. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, thank God we at least have somebody like Trump, because at least I can trust that he could be doing something about it, even though we don't see it. You know, like how I was freaking out last Tuesday, like, oh, why are these people still alive? And I was like really frustrated. It's like, after this video I saw with Jimmy, I was like, okay, like, yeah, we're getting, it's a process. We're getting there. I'm trusting that process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trust the process. And I hope that before I am your guys' age, that this will be dealt with, okay? Because remember when I told you guys, I will be on YouTube 10, 20 years from now saying, they got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be here. I want to witness the takedown. I want to see it.
Well, I'll just say, when I talk about patterns, and, when I say that the military is the only way, it's because of the patterns that I've seen already. And the first thing that I look at is the 2017 inauguration of Donald Trump, when he said, this is not just another 4-year election. This is not, transferring power from one administration to the next. This is transferring power from Washington, D.C. to you, the people. And he had the military brass behind him. No other president has given an inauguration speech and had military behind them. And so, yes, I do believe we are in the middle of a worldwide military operation. And if you want to say Trump is a puppet, I'll agree with you in this sense. The military asked Trump to run for president back in 2013 or whatever it was, 2014. The military asked him to do it. So if the military is in control, Trump is the front guy doing what he needs to do. And this is why sometimes he can't say certain things, or he hints around at something, or, you know, whatever. So, but I do believe later on we'll be having this discussion again, and I'll be like, yeah, there's the military. So anyway, I could talk a little bit more about that. But
the State of the Union is coming up, and we'll see what he's going to have to say.
It's going to be very interesting there.
Yeah.
Do y'all, by consensus, it's what, 11 o'clock? This next one will probably take me about 15 minutes. But do y'all want me to do part 2 off the cuff?
Why not?
If you do, you want to? Yeah, if you want to.
If you're up to it,
Before
go
you
right
do,
ahead.
Jimmy, before you do, I found my notes, and I have one sentence. Everything else I remembered. My first sentence was, we need to be aware, no matter how horrifying it's going to get, and you give us that information. My question to you is, what do you want us to do with all this information that we're learning? What can we do? Let me put it that way. And what are we going to do if the grid goes down and we don't have access to each other? I'm thinking about these things because that's a possibility that the grid could go down. And what do we do? I mean, I'd like to know what to do with all this information.
First thing I would say,
wait.
The first thing I would say is get right with your creator.
Yeah, I already am.
Okay. I would say that first. That's the first thing to do. Get right with Jesus, get right, you know, whatever. Take care of your circle. Take care of your family. That's one of the most important things you can do there. As far as when it comes to other people and being active, teach folks what you've learned. You know, listen to them. If they disagree with you on something, ask them why they believe that. And you'll find a lot of people will say, well, I just heard it on the TV. Well, you know where to go with that conversation when they say that. So it's just taking little bits of things that you can put out there, because for folks to wake up, it's going to have to be something that hits them personally. For me, it was the overreach of the government in March and April of 2020. For some folks, it's illegal immigration. For some folks, it's election fraud, which there's a lot going on about that too. We ain't even talked about that tonight. We need to put that on the list for next week, Ruby. There's many different things. And what I've seen in the past week and a half are thousands of people have woken up, or they've been shook awake.
Good.
Over the last week and a half. And we just keep doing what we've been doing, you know, keep getting that message out there on our platforms and just trying to get people to open their eyes. That's all you can really do. Now, as far as the grid and everything going down, I do believe if we let's look at patterns.
Okay.
If we look at 2020, what did they do? The economy was roaring. It was doing good. Everything was going well in Trump's favor. But next thing you know, they release a virus, and then they lock us down. And then they say to get out of this, you know, you're going to have to take this jab. That was more 21. But they also had their riots. All of this in the lead up to the election so that they could do mail-in ballots. They know they can't cheat now. They know they don't have the mail-in ballots to be able to cheat. And this is why they're getting pissed off about the deportations, because Trump and Homeland Security is removing their voters, so to speak. And they don't have them. That's why they're panicking. That's why they're rioting. So what do I see happening? I don't see them trying to do a pandemic. I don't think the people are going to buy that bull crap anymore. Everybody's lost faith in the WHO, the CDC. Their credibility is gone. So I don't see that happening. What I do see happening is I do see riots. And who knows what they're going to be fussing about. Right now it's ICE, and by summer it could be something else. But I do see blackouts. I do see cyber attacks. And it's not going, I don't think it's going to be a full-blown, oh, everything's down here in the US. Remember, they have to do things, they do things slowly to get you So it might be Chicago down one day. A couple days later, it might be Seattle. You know, they're going to stage it to where everybody starts freaking out, and they're going to be, oh my God, what's going to happen if we get a blackout here? Everybody's going to start freaking out again. Well, another thing that I've noticed is one of the Q posts did tell us, when the lights go out, don't worry, we are in control. So I'm not worried about that too much. I will say it's a very good idea to be prepped up for at least 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
As long as you have a storm radio that it runs on a battery, as well as you could crank it.
Yeah. I mean, there are preppers out there that have gone, there's some preppers out there that I'm like, damn, they have a supply. All right.
For 2 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like when we had the snowstorm come through, I was kind of disappointed because we didn't lose power. So I didn't have to break out any of my stuff. I was kind of disappointed because I was ready to go. But I would say, do prepare for that, because the deep state knows that their time is limited, and they're going to do everything they can to try to make it scary and make it messy. And there's going to be a scare event. Now, what that is, not exactly sure yet. We'll find out.
Well, you can get a lot of that Patriot Supply.
Oh yeah, that's where I got my stuff from.
Yeah, that's a good place to get food that lasts for 24 years. For shutdowns that Gail is talking about.
Yeah, I ordered a bunch of food from them.
Yeah, I did too.
Just don't get their water.
Yeah, I've got enough supplies here that for me and Carissa, we're good for at least 2 or 3 months. Now, of course, we'll probably have kids come over, so we'll have to spread it out a little bit, but we're good. All right.
Just stretch it with rice and potatoes.
Yes. Because you'll know what happened. I mean, if you were in North Carolina over this past couple of weeks, our grocery stores went bare quick.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 17 inches of snow.
Yeah, just because of snow and ice. And people, they wiped it out. The bread, I was tripping off the bread and the milk. Oh, my God.
I saw it myself.
Next time,
way in North Carolina.
Next time, go to a little market. Don't go to the big grocery chains. We've got 2 great Indian stores around here that sell everything. That's where I'm going. I'm not going to a big grocery store. That's where people should go.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea.
That's a great place. They got some great things. They're fun and enjoyable to go to.
To what?
To an Indian grocery.
Oh, yeah, they've got everything. I've got 2, because this is a predominantly Indian town I live in, and they've got everything. And their prices are cheap. So it's a win-win situation.
Let's go to the chat real quick. I just want to see if anybody has any other comments they want to make before I do this part 2.
There was breaking news on CNN somebody put.
Breaking news.
Leaf Tree said, get a solar generator.
Yeah.
Let's see, radios and things like that. And some other comments about, John Marciano says another virus. I doubt it, but something big, definitely.
They're going to try that one, but it's going to be a footnote. No one's going to buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
We're awake to that BS.
Okay, so around about Aussie says hit us with part 2, Jimmy.
Okay, well, let's go with part 2. So just bear with me for a second. I've titled this one, and I'll put the video out tomorrow. I'll do a video and put it on my YouTube channel so you guys can have it. So you guys are the first to hear this. So
I'm gonna blow you up, so it's gonna be just you, but we're gonna be on the stage.
All right, I'll mute.
Okay.
I'll mute myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute too, so everybody could just mute.
And I'll try to get through this. I'll try to get through this quickly, but we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. So this one's titled Beyond the Breach. This is a presentation on the distraction layer, the cascade into larger disclosure, and the posture of disciplined service. Section 1, the distraction layer, 8 traps you will encounter. We've already spoken about what the first breach is and what it is not. We've spoken of the leverage economy, the true architecture behind these networks. We have spoken of a control structure that chose a controlled breach over uncontrolled collapse. Now I want to speak about what the control structure does next. Because here's what you must understand. Once a wall has been breached, the architects of that wall do not simply surrender, they adapt. And their adaptation takes a very specific form, one we call the distraction layer. These are not random behaviors, they are predictable defenses. And once you can name them, they lose much of their power over you. So let's start with distraction 1, the obsession with a single name. The first trap is the most natural to the human mind. The fixation on one face, one celebrity, one political figure, as though the entire matter can be resolved by proving or disproving one person's guilt. This is by design. The architecture behind these networks is a web, and a web cannot be dismantled by staring at one strand. If your attention is captured by one symbol, the deeper machinery, those who arranged access, brokered introductions, move money, and enforce silence, continues undisturbed. Do not let a single name become the whole story. The truth is a system, and systems are dismantled by seeing relationships, pathways, and repeated mechanisms, not by worshiping or despising one symbol person. Distraction 2, the partisan war. The second trap is the conversion of everything into tribal conflict. When the public is split into two shouting camps, the hidden network wins by default. It is one of the oldest tools on this planet. Keep the people in a perpetual argument about which side is more corrupt, while the deeper structure uses both sides when convenient. Moral clarity is not a team sport. Exploitation is wrong. Concealment is wrong. The machinery that protects harm must be dismantled regardless of which costume it wears. Do not let your energy be harvested by identity politics disguised as moral clarity. I want to repeat that one. Do not let your energy be harvested by identity politics disguised as moral clarity. Distraction 3, the forgery storm. We have entered an era where images, documents, and clips can be manufactured with enough plausibility to ignite outrage before any careful examination occurs. This is not merely noise. This is a tactic. When a true archive exists, the easiest way to weaken its impact is to seed the field with convincing fakes until the public becomes unsure of everything and concludes in exhaustion that nothing can be done. They do not have to hide every truth if they can convince you that truth is indistinguishable from fiction. The forgery storm is not meant to fool the most disciplined researchers. It is meant to exhaust the average person. It is meant to turn curiosity into cynicism. Distraction 4, the bureaucratic drama. Documents appearing and disappearing, technical errors, sudden removals, and repost. Whether these events are caused by incompetence, internal conflict, or intentional sabotage, the effect is the same. Attention shifts away from the content and onto the spectacle. The story becomes the missing item, the vanishing page, the procedural chaos, and the public begins consuming the release as entertainment rather than as a call to dismantle a structure. A missing page is not the point. The point is that the wall has been breached at all, that the existence of the archive has been admitted to the public mind. Distraction 5, the rush to extreme frame. The fifth distraction is the most tempting for those who have long sensed what others could not see. The urge to leap immediately into the most sensual metaphysics, the most cosmic conclusions, and to present these as the real truth, while dismissing the visible, documentable mechanisms that are already enough to dismantle large portions of the machine. There is a place for the greater picture, but when you lead with the most extreme frame, you make it easy for the unprepared to dismiss the entire subject. and easy for gatekeepers to label all inquiry as irrational. The control system is not afraid of wild claims. It is afraid of organized, disciplined inquiry sustained by millions. Allow the public to walk through doors in a sequence they can absorb. Distraction 6, the location fixation. One island, one building, one symbol site, as though the entire network is contained in a single geographic point. This is a child's map of an adult system. The system is distributed through corridors of travel, finance, law, media, philanthropy, academia, and technology. If you chase a single location, you might find evidence of wrongdoing, yes, but you will miss the logical roots that made wrongdoing sustainable for so long. Do not shrink the story into something the mind can hold comfortably. Allow it to be the web it is. Distraction 7, despair. This may be the most poisonous distraction of all because it masquerades as realism. The despair voice says, nothing will happen. No one will be held accountable. This is all theater. Sometimes that voice is born of genuine exhaustion. Sometimes it is learned helplessness trained into a people over many generations. And sometimes it is encouraged by those who benefit when you stop pushing. Do not measure success only by immediate outcomes that satisfy the hunger for instant resolution. Measure success by whether the population keeps looking, keeps asking, keeps refusing to be pacified by partial truth. And distraction 8, the vengeance fantasy. The desire for justice is natural. The desire for protection is righteous. But vengeance fantasies are easily manipulated because when a crowd is inflamed, it can be steered towards scapegoats and away from architects. It can be steered into overreaction, which then becomes the justification for censorship, crackdowns, and new surveillance structures disguised as safety measures. The hidden network is skilled at provoking overreaction. Do not hand them the gift. These 8 distractions, name chasing, tribal war, the forgery storm, bureaucratic drama, premature extremity, location fixation, despair cycles, and vengeance fantasies are not random. They are the predictable defenses of a collapsing secrecy structure. The moment you can name them, you are no longer as easily steered by them. Let me take a quick break. All right. Why this is only the beginning. Having named the distractions, we can now ask the deeper question. If they are scrambling this hard, what are they protecting? What is coming next? What we have witnessed is not the story. It is the opening clause of a longer sentence. A control structure that has been punctured cannot remain stable. And there are 10 reasons why what follows will be larger. First, the adjacent archive effect. When one body of material is released, it points outward. Every document references organizations, travel corridors, financial channels, handlers, and intermediaries. Each reference is a thread. A thread does not end where it appears. It leads somewhere. The next disclosures often arrive not because someone suddenly became brave, but because the first disclosure creates a trail that can no longer be ignored. People begin to demand the next layer because the first layer makes it obvious. Second, the legitimization of questions. Before this breach, those who sensed what was hidden were dismissed as conspiratorial. But when an official breach occurs, however messy, however partial, certain questions become socially acceptable to ask. And once a question is socially acceptable, it becomes difficult to silence without exposing the act of silencing. When a population loses its fear of asking, empires lose control of narration. Third, unsealing momentum. A system built on sealed compartments has used sealing as a protective spell. Classified, privileged, sealed for reasons of safety. Those seals have hidden not only what must be protected, but what must be hidden for the controllers to remain safe. Once the public sees one seal lifted, it begins pushing on others. It begins to suspect that sealing has often been a form of institutional self-protection. Fourth, the collapse of reputational immunity. For a long time, certain people have been treated as too important to question. Each disclosure wave weakens that spell. When one untouchable becomes touchable, many begin to realize that untouchability was always a shared illusion. And when that illusion cracks, people who were once afraid to speak become less afraid. Fifth, financial corridor exposure. The deepest disclosures are rarely the most sensational. They are often the most quiet on the surface. Transactions, shells, foundations, intermediaries, hidden ownership structures. Yet these are the arteries of control. The story migrates from what happened to who paid, who enabled, who laundered, who protected, and who benefited. Money trails do not respect reputations. They reveal function. 6, technology corridor exposure. When a scandal touches influence networks, it naturally touches the machinery that shapes public awareness. Platform policies, algorithmic amplification, controlled narratives, strategic silence. What was boosted? What was hidden? Who was protected? What was labeled misinformation? A network that thrives on leverage also thrives on controlling what a population is allowed to perceive. These are not separate subjects. They are part of the same architecture. 7th, intelligence adjacent corridors. The next natural questions become who knew, who ignored, who protected, who contained investigations. Even when every detail cannot yet be proven, the demand for transparency grows. And that demand pressures other compartments to open because a civilization cannot tolerate endless contradictions forever without choosing a side, truth or denial. 8, the revelation of method. In many ways, this is the most important disclosure of all. You are learning not merely that darkness existed, but how it operated. Compromise, silence, reputation control, institutional shielding, the manufacturing of helplessness. A single fact can be debated. A method, once seen, can be applied across countless domains. Suddenly, the public begins recognizing the same choreography in other scandals, other cover-ups, and other so-called isolated incidents. The spell breaks when the choreography is recognized. 9th, the domino effect of internal fracture. A control structure is not one mine. It is a web of bargains. When the web begins to tear, these bargains become unstable. Those who once relied on mutual secrecy begin to fear one another. Betrayals rise. Rival factions sacrifice one another to preserve themselves. In a collapsing hierarchy, information leaks not as an act of moral awakening, but as an act of survival. Yet, regardless of motive, the wall continues to crack. And 10th, the widening of public appetite for reality. Disclosure is not a gift delivered to a passive population. It is a relationship between what is revealed and what the collective is willing to hold. Each wave expands capacity. Each wave normalizes what was once unthinkable. Each wave creates a new baseline for what can be discussed. What once would have been rejected is now considered plausible. What once would have been sealed is now demanded. The puncture exposes the existence of the wall. The wall exposes the existence of the builders. The builders expose the existence of the blueprint. And once the blueprint is seen, the dismantling accelerates. Because humanity begins to recognize that the world it was given was not the only possible world. And you know what? I think I'm going to stop right there to whet the appetite for section 3 and section 4 in the video I do tomorrow for this. Because it's still a lot. I probably have another 10 minutes to go. But I think I'll stop there since what, 11:24. So unless folks want me to continue, it's up to you guys.
No, I think that was great. I'm gonna have to watch it back a couple times because that was a lot of information. You gave like 8 points, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely take notes on what you said.
Yeah, it was basically the distraction layer, 8 traps you will encounter, Know those,
Right.
learn those, because as time goes on, there's going to be more disclosures, and you need to recognize these traps so when they come out, you don't fall into them. And
Jimmy, can you put those bullet points on the webpage? On Ruby's webpage?
And he could send it to me and I could put it on Facebook because he doesn't have Facebook.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't have Facebook. I mean,
yeah, definitely email me, Jimmy, if you can, because that was great. Like copy and paste the entire thing.
So just to leave you just real quick, section 3 is going to talk about, this is what Gail asked earlier about what can we do. The posture of disciplined service. There's 10 instructions. Do not let yourself be carried into arguments and friction. Be careful with your research and your sources. Be alert to borrowed authority. Do not take sides. Cultivate non-retaliation. Maintain your spiritual practice. Guard your priorities. Practice community discernment. Be vigilant about savior energy. And prepare for heavy truths with an open heart. So I'll read this last paragraph and then I'll be done with this. I want to leave you with a single image. When what you are witnessing right now is not the height of the storm, it is the early weather. The unmistakable signal that the pressure is building, that something the old world has kept sealed is moving toward the surface. The first breach was the permission slip for what follows, and what follows will move from visible scandal into less visible corridors. The money routes, the influence and infrastructure, the hidden agreements that shape the modern era. So do not mistake the noise of this moment for the fullness of what is coming. Do not be pacified by the partial. Do not be exhausted by the volume. Do not be recruited by the distractions. Ask better questions, cultivate discernment, stay in service, trust that once a civilization sustains genuine attention on what has been hidden begins to move toward the light on its own. The door that has been opened leads to other doors, and those who keep walking forward will be there when they open. All right, done with that.
I have a question. Did you get any help writing all that?
Do what?
Did you get any help writing all those?
I got a little help from some sources.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It was good though. I'm gonna watch it on YouTube because I saw you at first one on YouTube.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll do one on this one tomorrow sometime, and I'll put that one out too. So,
But I'm glad you're doing that, Jimmy, because you've been saying this stuff for the longest. And then now that it's actually happening, it puts it into perspective. And I found this tweet that was shared on our X group chat that I want to read out loud to kind of show everybody that some things are happening, even though we might not think that nothing's happening because nobody has been arrested or whatever, at least not in public, right? So this tweet is from Mr. Poole on X, and it says, "You went to sleep after the Super Bowl. Here's what Trump did while America slept. He forced Ghislaine Maxwell before Congress. She refused every question. Then her lawyer panicked and offered a deal, clemency for testimony. A woman serving 20 years for sex trafficking is so terrified of what Trump is uncovering that she's begging for a way out. He said no. His DOJ released 6 million pages of Epstein files. The result? Prince William and Kate broke their silence for the first time. Deeply concerned, quote unquote. The royal family is in full panic mode. Norway's ambassador resigned. Their crown princess apologized. An entire country is crumbling. The chairman of one of America's most powerful law firms, Paul Weiss, resigned overnight. Lord Mandelson is under criminal investigation in the UK. Larry Summers resigned from OpenAI. One man released the files, and the entire global elite is falling apart. Netanyahu flies to Washington on Wednesday. Iran nuclear deal is on the table. Trump is reshaping the Middle East in real time. All of this in one weekend. They told you no president could touch them. He didn't just touch them, he buried them.
Yep. And there's
Yeah.
more coming. So much
Yeah,
more.
I saw that with Ghislaine. She pleaded the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did plead the fifth.
Right.
I want to know what they're going to do with Lutnick. I want to know what Trump's going to do to him.
Yeah, Lutnick. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I was having a conversation about Lutnick with my stepdaughter today. And one thing that I had to remind her of was, if you know how Trump operates, he always puts people in the spotlight to be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
He did it with Fauci. He did it with Biden. So, I mean, maybe not. I mean, I think he's doing it with Pam Bondi. I'm not a big fan of Pam Bondi.
Oh, nobody likes her.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
She's done nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I have reservations about. Ow, dang it! I sat on my foot too long, y'all. I have reservations about JD Vance, and I have some reservations about Kash Patel.
I don't like him either.
If someone were to say to me, "Oh, Jimmy, you just believe everything MAGA says and MAGA does," that's not true. I do keep an open mind about everything, because I remember being told those who you think are good are actually bad, and those that are bad that you think are bad are actually good. So don't fall into the trap of just planting your flag on one thing and going with it, because you're going to be so lost as time goes by.
And don't forget, Fergie sent Epstein a lot of letters.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Did you know about the island?
Oh, you mean the ex-wife of Prince Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I almost freaked out at the singer.
And did you hear about the 2 island boys?
Oh yeah.
I've heard the theory. But you know,
It's
I didn't dive into it.
Google those 2 boys. They're loaded from the neck down with tattoos. They were used and abused by Jeffrey Epstein when they were little boys. It's really sad.
It's sad. I agree.
It is very sad.
Which makes it weird how now not now, but like 2015, 2016, and was it 2020 during like Trump's thing, they were all up front and center, and they were like going viral for different, and was around the whole Trump team. It raises a lot of red flags for me. Like I don't know, but I'll look into it definitely.
Yeah, that's so sad to watch, really.
Yeah.
So, well, I've pretty much, somebody said I was wearing, you know what? It's funny that Steen said Jimmy has a "Where's Wally" shirt, because as I was pulling this damn shirt out of my closet, I have one that's actually got blue stripes, and it's blue and white. That would have been "Where's the Waldo" shirt. So I got the black and the white. But yeah, they picked up on that. That's funny. But
so did you this is one last clip. It's only 5 minutes. I want to know if you saw this. Did you see this video, Jimmy?
There are 6 multi-power men that did. You had no apparent reason why did it take Thomas Massey not going to the Justice Department.
Who's he?
I have not seen this one.
Okay, good. So I'll just read the caption really quickly. It's from Representative Ro Khanna on the Epstein files. I wanted to bring this up because it was like another white pill that Macy and this representative are working together, and I believe he is Democrat, so it's kind of like they're working together on this, and their efforts paid off, because whatever was redacted was unredacted. So it kind of shows you how if we just work together like they should be working for us, good things can happen. So I'm going to play his clip just so that we could get another dose of a white pill.
Yesterday, Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted. In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake. And now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayman, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March, long before Thomas Massey and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massey, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files. That means the survivor's statement to the FBI, naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped and abused underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded, they're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI. And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting? Why are they protecting these rich and powerful men, people I call part of the Epstein class? Why are we in a country where there is no elite accountability for people who do the most heinous things? You have in England, the king now calling for an investigation and possible prosecution of his own brother. You have in Norway, the princess who no longer has support to be the queen. And yet in the United States of America, we have someone in the cabinet, Howard Lutnick, who is all over these Epstein files, who allegedly had business with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia, and he still is in the cabinet. We need to ask ourselves, are we in America going to have elite accountability? Are we going to call on rich and powerful people who broke the law or cavorted with a pedophile, a convicted pedophile? Are we going to call them to account? Are we going to have prosecutions for billionaires who went to this island and either raped underage girls or saw underage girls being raped and didn't say anything? Are we going to have investigations? I'll tell you what this is about. It's not just about the 1,200 survivors. It's about 2 tiers of justice in America. It's about people who can accumulate wealth and power and don't have to care about the rest of America. They have destroyed so much of this country. Income inequality is at a 60-year high. Worker salaries are less than they have been for 75 years as a part of GDP. Somehow this country seems to be working for the rich and powerful, but it's not working for ordinary working class Americans. I say enough. It's time to begin with accountability for the Epstein class. Hold them in front of Congress, those people who visited the island or did business with Epstein after he was a convicted pedophile. Investigate them, prosecute them, and let's return to democratic accountability in the United States of America. Let's return to one system of justice in the United States of America. Let's return to a place where every American has a stake in this country.
Well, you want to comment?
Oh,
Well,
you're muted. Hold
I
up.
unmuted myself. This is all
Okay,
bullshit. Let me remind everybody, when Epstein first was supposedly, quote, hung himself, they had a Netflix series, they had a Hulu series, they mentioned a lot of these high-powered people, including the guy from Victoria's Secret who got the ball rolling with Epstein. Nobody gave a shit because the Democrats were in. They squashed it. They kept it quiet. Now that Trump's on board and said he was going to release him, now everybody's coming out of the woodwork. But where were they when all this first happened? And who's the scapegoat? Unfortunately, Ghislaine. I don't know. If she's in jail, everybody else should be in jail with her. I'm sorry. And I hope I wish she would spill the beans, but they've killed 3 people so far. His friend Jean something that's got murdered in, was it Francis?
Jean-Luc Brunel.
Yes, he got murdered. The other guy, they said, committed suicide and got thrown off a building in California, and I forgot who the third one was. So she's probably not going to say anything now because she's probably scared, because they can get they can get you no matter where you are. They can get you, and that was proven with Epstein, wherever I guess he's in Israel. They showed pictures today, and they did ask if they were AI generated, and AI said no. They were a real picture.
Yeah.
You know, they think we're all stupid, really. But
yeah, I'm very cynical when
I don't want to hear these people talking about this day. Where were they 4 years ago?
Yeah, and these are the same people that knew about Peter Nygaard and what he did, and about what Branson did. You know, in the information that I shared, you know, this is the problem. Everybody's focusing on one island, one person, one thing, but even though he mentioned those names, the names that he mentioned, they all sounded foreign. Every one of them except the Les Wexner. So that's that pattern recognition to where, you know, when we say this is a worldwide operation, it's not a joke.
Yes. Well, you mentioned also Mendelssohn from the UK. Well, he is Lord Peter Mendelssohn. He was the finance secretary for the UK. He was also in the House of Lords, and he was also ambassador to the United States. And he was discovered in these Epstein files as the best buddy or best pals with Epstein. And also implicated in this is Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan.
Because that falls into the money side of things there, Joseph. The stuff that's not going to be sensational news. That stuff that's going to be reported and it's going to go over everybody's heads. But
that shows you that some of the dominoes are starting to fall.
Yes, they are. They are.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's the white pill. That's why I wanted to share it, is because if we're following the same logic that Jimmy just explained in part 1 and 2, it takes a process. So even though that this was there, even if it was 4 years ago and it's just coming out now, at least we have a representative brave enough to say what he just said. And for him to name those names on the floor the way that he did, and what Macy has been doing since before. It's coming out, and at least we see our representatives at work. This is what we wanted, and that's the white pill for me.
Yeah, there's a lot more that we could talk about. A lot more. Oh, we got following.
Oh, here's Jesse. Hi, Jesse.
Well, hi, Jesse.
Let's now that we got him back, let's go ahead and let Jesse speak, and then let's do some final because it's getting late. I gotta go work.
No, this actually is going to be the final thoughts. So thank Jesse, you arrived just in time. You can start off, and then we'll work our way around.
All right. Hey, did you guys spend a long time on the football, or you want to get on with it?
Oh no, we're on Epstein.
Yeah, we were done with that.
Okay, I just wanted to throw up. It's a different I just wanted to mention that I feel on the football side that a lot of us, like I remember when I was a Jehovah's Witness elder and people would say, you guys don't believe in Jesus. You guys have a pedophile problem. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it because I didn't see it with my own eyes.
Right.
And I don't want to use the word naive or innocent, I really believed that in the goodness of my religion.
Yes.
And that's the way I look at football. I know it's a business, and I know politics is a business, but I believe that there are a lot of great football players, kids who really love the game. And I think that's why I was so crushed with Roger Goodell and Bugs Bunny and Jay-Z, everything that you mentioned about the business. Because imagine if you're a football player and you really love the game, you really love it, and you give your whole life to it, and you're 35 years old and you get to the Super Bowl, and then they politicize it, they turn it into a halftime show.
Yeah.
All your work, all your dreams, they ruin it. The ends justify the means. They ruin everything in America. They ruin our games, they ruin our music, they ruin our culture. For people who really love the game of football, basketball, or any endeavor in the United States. That's what I think. That's why I was so crushed by the Super Bowl. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Dallas, you want to make a comment?
Yep, go ahead, Dallas.
Well, I agree with that the elite should never be untouchable.
Yeah, and they're not.
And watching a halftime, I investigated up close. And I wanted.
Good.
I know that Jimmy, it's easy for me to remember because of having an Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dallas. Thank you, buddy.
That's true. That's true, Dallas. Definitely. Thank you for joining the stage.
Yes,
I'm honored to do that, and let the next person move on with them.
We go with Joseph.
Okay.
I can go right ahead.
Okay. Yes, the dominoes are starting to fall, and the deep state is scared. They're running scared. Their whole new world order model has failed. Even our Carney of Canada and Davos said that. They wanted to have a restart of the new order with new objectives. So they realized they lost.
Yep. True.
Okay. And that's my comment for tonight. And I thank everybody for letting me talk.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Gigi?
Go ahead. Yeah, Gail.
Okay. I have a correlation. And I was in the 60s when this happened. Charles Manson used all his girls to get everything he wanted. And what are they doing? The same thing with the girls. The exact same filthy, rotten thing to lure all these scumbags in. And what did Manson do? He used all the girls to have orgies over at one of the Beach Boys' house. I forgot which one it was. And, you know, that Neil Diamond was there. All these people were there having orgies with these girls. And you know, this is a funny story. Frank Sinatra's daughter, Tina, was enthralled with Charles Manson. Well, Charles Manson got a phone call from Frank Sinatra. You can look this up yourself. And he threatened Charles Manson, you better stay away from my daughter or you're not going to be around to have another breath. So I thought that was hysterical. But that correlation really struck me because I was in the 60s when those brutal murders happened. And it's the same thing, luring all these wealth. I mean, he was a financial guru, got these guys in that way. And how else did he get them? With all these beautiful young girls. And they all went for it. And the list, I'm telling you, there's so many people on the list, it's making my mind go crazy. Everybody's on the list. It's all, they should take them all, round them all up, put them on an island and just blow the island up.
Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate that. Somebody said Beach Boy Dennis Wilson's house.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tom came in clutch. Hi, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
And he had a tragic ending too.
Yeah.
Who?
Dennis Wilson. Remember he fell off the boat?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Makes you question everything, right? Let me stop.
So did Natalie Wood.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, I know that's terrible.
And then Ruby and I were talking earlier, and she started mentioning about Kate Spade.
I was just, you read my mind, Jimmy. I was just about to say that.
I have a pocketbook of hers.
Yeah, but it made me remember. Oh, okay, that was the Savannah's mom kidnapping. It made me remember how weird, because I saw a clip on X. I said, hey, remember when Kate Spade allegedly committed suicide? I mean, who knows? I never saw any pictures or never saw anything.
Yeah.
And her husband came out and he was wearing a mask of a mouse, or like it was a rat. And
I thought she was dating Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones.
I don't know. It was a mask, but it was like a cartoon character of a. Oh, that's what I think it was, like the Three Musketeers or something, like that rat cartoon from back in the day. It was something like that, and they made the connection about the plot of the movie, the symbolism of the rat, and then his wife being dead. And I was like, whoa, this is just too much. Just I don't know what's going on. But this is too much. So I have to go down that rabbit hole. But that's exactly what it made me think of. So it's sick out here, man.
Well, my last thought for this evening is, first off, I want to thank you guys for listening to what I've said tonight. I know I did a lot of talking tonight. And I appreciate you guys entertaining that. Hopefully you can go back and listen to the video I did today, the video I'll put up tomorrow, and really listen to those things. And because I do believe that information is going to be a map for everyone that they can use to navigate what is going to come out, because more stuff is going to come out. We still have 3 million more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 3 more. It's 6 million pages.
Yeah, we still have information that's going to come out on the 33,000 emails for Hillary Clinton. And a lot of people forgot about Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Yes,
that's
it was
still out
tied
there
into
too.
Huma Abedin, which was working with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. And so one thing that we got laughed at, Pizzagate, saying, oh, Pizzagate wasn't real. Well, come to find out, yeah, it was. I'm not going to say it on the live stream because I don't want to get us kicked off of here, but there was a situation associated with Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin that we've been told, oh, that's just a conspiracy. Yeah, that's going to come out too. There's a lot more coming, folks.
Yeah.
So if you are not able to wrap your head around what's going on right now, I highly suggest you go back and listen to the videos that I did and I will do, because it's going to help you.
I'm gonna.
And it's all going to be tied into satanic rituals.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, it's good versus evil. So
yeah,
and that's the problem, is because they're going to claim that this is their religion. That's the problem. They're going to claim that this is a culture thing or a religious thing, and no, it's evil, and they should all be hanged. Honestly,
Can I ask Jimmy a question? Can I ask Jimmy a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theory that nobody has, I have it. It's in the back of my head because I loved Rush Limbaugh all his life. I listened to him since.
Oh, I liked him too.
And but I listened to him religiously in my hometown. Even when I was a Jehovah's Witness elder, I sponsored this show, and I never got this fellowship or counsel. But anyways, on the AM dial in our town, and so I followed him every day. Me and Gilbert, we followed him every day religiously. Gilbert talked to him, but I always thought in the back of my head that they killed him, that somebody in the deep state killed him, that he just didn't die of cancer. But it's just a conspiracy in the that you. But think about this: the Roger Goodell, the football. He had one voice. He would be able to stop Bill Clinton in his tracks. I remember during the Bill Clinton administration, or George H.W. Bush, or Pat Buchanan, he was that powerful a voice on the radio. So I think sometimes when somebody gets so powerful on the alternative media, they silence this individual either by death, by accident, or by some orchestrated fallacy of a crime that they've committed. And what do you think? Is it far-fetched to think that they could have hurt him physically like that?
No, I agree with you.
It's not far fetched at all.
No.
I don't think so.
Why do we have the CIA? It's for clandestine operation and covert activities.
But we have no evidence of it. It's just now we question everything. We go,
You're
whoa.
supposed to.
Yeah, how did this guy pass away when he's a perfect healthy specimen? Yeah, just one of those things.
I mean, that's the other thing, and that's what I was telling my stepdaughter today. You know, she says, I'm just waking up to all this stuff, and I don't know what to teach my kids in history, and I don't know what to feed my kids anymore, and this and that. And I was like, you know what? I really sympathize with her, because when you first wake up or you're going down this stuff, you really need to get it in your head that everything that you were told, everything that you were taught was all a lie. Everything.
Look at that, what that Tom says.
And Tom says, I've heard the CIA gave Bob Marley cancer too. I've never heard of that. So
I thought he was shot to death.
Yeah.
Or some people say that they hurt John Lennon. They were afraid of John Lennon.
Oh, yeah. We talked about John Lennon being taken out before too.
And even Michael Jackson. I mean, there was a theory. Well, I don't know if it's a theory or not. I don't know. But Jimmy said that he was using Netherlands to actually save children, and then they accused him of pedophilia, and then ultimately killed him.
Yeah, that came out, and that was listed in the Epstein files that Michael was using Neverland as a place to give those kids a safe haven. So,
and you know what, Gilbert used to say it religiously all the time. That he said, "Hey, if the LAPD was one of the most corrupt police departments at that time, they lived inside of Michael Jackson's house, and if they couldn't get irrefutable evidence with the most corrupt police department, that dude has to be innocent." And it was just a conspiracy. We think outside the box.
Yeah, I believe the story we've been told about Michael, about Princess Di, about a lot of people. I believe we've been lied to about everything. I really do.
But now that we know about sorry to interrupt you, but now that we know about Prince Andrew, Diana must have known something, and there was theories about that. She even wrote about it. She knew she was going to die by a car accident. So I think they killed her.
I think so too.
I think they do. I think it because certain one was jealous of her because she was becoming more popular.
I really don't. I agree, Dallas. I really don't think people understand the scope of what's going to be coming over the next year and a half. There's so much information. So,
and remember the way they treated not Kurt Gibson, but Braveheart, the Braveheart actor.
Mel Gibson.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They treated him like a dog. You know,
yeah,
they treated him like a dog.
Mel Gibson wasn't in the Epstein files. So, but Ruby, do you have our outro ready for this evening?
You didn't tell me which one you want to play.
I emailed it to you. Okay, we'll just go to my YouTube.
Okay, can I just say, Ruby, I stand to be corrected. It was Mick Jagger's partner that was dating Kate Spade. And Mick Jagger was very upset over her death. But it was his partner. His last name was Scott that was dating Kate. So I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. If we make mistakes on here, we own them, don't we, Gigi?
Yep.
So, but the song that we're gonna end with tonight. That kind of triggered me a little bit. I felt like I was at the Watchtower meeting. The song we're gonna end with tonight. Oh my God. Sorry,
tell us the number. Tell us the number so we can look it up.
Should we stand?
Okay, you know
that was so messed up.
Because I'm starting to get loopy now, and so yeah. But
okay, I got it.
The title's called "Hold the Line." Because there's so much that's going to be happening, so much going to be exposed that we really do need to hold the line. So last thing I'll say, thank you to everybody in the chat for sticking with us for the 3-hour show we did tonight. A little longer. We told you guys it was going to be a little longer. Okay. But thank you to everyone that joins and watches the UPC. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
And I want to say to y'all, I give Jesse gracias, and then to one grazie.
Oh, thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Joseph, Jesse. Gail, Jimmy, and everybody in the chat. All right.
A gracias and a grazie to y'all.
Arrivederci.
See y'all next week.
Arrivederci, y'all.
Every headline's a landmine, every word feels like a lie. Can't tell what's real anymore, just another reason why we're drowning in the static, truth buried in the noise. Used to have conviction, now I question every voice. They said we'd never see the day, but something's shifting come what may. Hold the line, through the darkness we will shine. All the people waking up, opening their eyes, something's gotta break this time. Justice coming for the ones who hide. Hold the line, have faith in humanity tonight. Felt like nothing ever changes, same faces, different year. Power plays behind closed doors, controlling all we hear. But there's a rumble in the distance, a fire that won't die. Millions finding courage, finally asking why. The tide is turning, can't you feel this time the reckoning is real? Hold the line, through the darkness we will shine. All the people waking up, opening their eyes, something's gotta break this time. Justice coming for the ones who hide. Hold the line, have faith in humanity tonight. They thought we'd never see through the game, but we're done playing, calling names. Accountability's a hammer falling down. No more shadows, no more running now. The deeper they buried the truth beneath, the louder it screams when we finally break. Hold the line, through the darkness we will shine. All the people waking up, opening their eyes,